welcome to the Today Show. I am your host, James Lee.
Hello, everybody. I'm an extraterrestrial coming to you live from San Diego.
We got a great show. We got a lot of ish for everybody today. We're talking about, I guess, Project Bluebeam. Apparently, it's happening, according to Dani. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the evidence she has. She has some CIA documents. She says she has these CIA documents that is going to just blow people's minds.
Well, I mean, look, I've reported these CIA documents for years, and people that know Project Bluebeam are aware of these documents. But it just feels like we are on the precipice of a government-staged alien invasion, possibly multiple governments, to join all the countries in a new world order. So happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
That's going to be a big part of the show.
We also are, I don't know if this is related or not, but the ballroom that's being built, some are saying that it's not really a ballroom, it's some kind of military bunker.
Well,
that may or may not be tied to
Trump has said it's
ally.
a military bunker.
He has said it, but it's like, okay, what about this military bunker? What's underneath? People are digging into it. We'll be digging into it a little bit.
I have a lot of theories. I'm going to be unhinged today, which I feel like is where I thrive.
Yeah, probably.
You know, like, let's just be honest. I don't need to cosplay a reporter. Unhinged is really a better look.
No comment. Anyways, we will also be talking about a little update on the war, Charlie Kirk. Apparently, there's another tick invasion happening, and we will do some additional addressing of the bomb that I just threw over on Spencer Pratt's campaign this morning.
I mean, no comment for the time being. We'll get into it. I hope you guys loved the Sam Tripoli episode. We had so much fun, and this is going to kind of...
He was such a great guest. He was so, like...
He was.
Open, you know, answering, just like being authentic and like, hey, this is where I've fucked up in the past. This is what I know, what I don't know. Here are all my theories. And he was just kind of very generous with his
And
aura.
I would say on a lot of the conspiracies, I agree with him, but I do think viruses are real. I just want to
there was like a lot of the in the rapid fire lightning round. Did you agree with all those answers?
No.
You did not.
No, I don't think the earth is flat, and I don't believe that viruses are fake. I can't remember all the questions, but I feel like everything
else. He said that some birds are...
Which I don't think that's crazy. I don't even think that's crazy to. I
don't think that's not even a conspiracy, because it's like, are some like drones like disguised as birds? Like something.
I mean, you see some antennas are disguised as palm trees in California.
Not well disguised.
And I'm sure the birds aren't either. You probably are like, damn, that's a sick crow, but you don't realize.
Or people just like, whatever. That was a weird looking thing, and then they move on with their day, not knowing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, wow, he has a broken wing and he's still flying,
But it was really fun. We hope to do more of that in terms of like interviews, especially these in-person interviews. I find them to be more, like, I'm able to connect with them more versus being remote over like Zoom.
Same. Because like Tucker Carlson said in this clip that we're going to play later, when you're with Donald Trump, he might put a spell on you. So maybe that's what we do to the guests. We're like, in person.
Or do they put a spell on us?
I don't know. I can't reveal any secrets of mine, but no, I'm just kidding. So yeah, some crazy things are happening with...
Oh, do you want to talk about your TikTok ban really quick? How you were banned and then unbanned from TikTok?
Sure. I was permanently banned from TikTok for...
Not too permanent.
Well, it felt permanent for 72 hours. It was. I couldn't even get into my account. I couldn't appeal it. And the craziest thing is, I do a lot of wild stories that are conspiracy theories, but this particular video that I did was about a Wells Fargo patent called Smart Dust, and it's about these airborne microscopic surveillance dust-like particles that they filed a patent for in 2022. It's public information. You can look it up. And basically in the future, they want to use it so that if you want to ever pay for anything, you're going to be swarmed by this smart dust that will instantaneously be able to authenticate you by your heart rate, your body temperature, your facial recognition, your fingerprints, your eyeballs, everything. And then it takes the information back to the hub, and then they can say, yep, that's the person.
And this is like corroborated?
That's the patent. I read off the patent.
Oh, you read off the patent. And then they said, well, this is...
But of course the comments were crazy. Like, what do you think they're dropping from the chemtrails? And I was like, holy shit, you're right.
Oh, then it ties, because aren't you not allowed to talk about chemtrails on TikTok?
Well, no, you're not. But also, it did make me think, like, you know, it was originally a military concept, but Wells Fargo patented it, you know, to do surveillance for...
Why is Wells Fargo patenting, like, surveillance
I don't know,
stuff?
but Trump has come out and he said, oh, you know, we will never approve central bank digital currency. But it's like, do you even need central bank digital currency if you have smart dust swarm in your ass every time you go to pay for something? It's like the next step up. So anyways, that was the video that got me banned. And I wasn't even making a conspiracy like I normally do. I just was literally...
it is a conspiracy because you're saying that banks are
No, that's what it literally says in the patent. That this is what they're going to use.
Well, that's a conspiracy.
Well, why?
By definition, it's a conspiracy because people that are unknown are coming together with new technologies to sort of control the population in ways.
Okay, sure.
It's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
Not necessarily a theory. It's not a conspiracy theory because
Right.
it's moved beyond theory into fact, right? You're just reading off.
Look at it. They're making it a fucking business, not me. I'm just reading off the patent. And I do think at the end of the video I said, this technology could be good for wallets, but can you imagine if they use it to invisibly surveil every human on the planet? I think might have been my ending, so maybe I did cross the boundaries. But anyways, I called your good friend, now a friend of mine. She helped. She was amazing. And it's unbanned. And now I'm going to maybe just use TikTok to, like, journal the today-ish life or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm jealous because she wasn't able to get my account back.
How many times did you get it back?
Twice. I've gotten it back twice.
Okay, this is my first, so.
But what have I done? You know, I'm not spreading conspiracies about
Israel.
pixie dust and...
There's one answer for you.
Right, why am I banned? But the thing is, because I do want it back, but I feel like even if I got it back, I wouldn't really be able to post on there very effectively.
No, and I can't post the content, a lot of the content that I'm posting on Instagram and YouTube on there, but with 500,000 followers, I can use it for other things. That's what I was brainstorming when it was gone for 72 hours. I'm like, I could be an HGTV shop and be like, do you see this sweater? This sweater's great. Look at the white stitching, you know, which I'm not going to do. But of course, when you have it gone, I was like, wow, I really lost that opportunity.
Yeah. So now you're going to have to be like super careful with it because you never, like, I don't know what your account status is at now. Are you just like clean slated?
No. I'm one strike away from
Okay. So you like be super careful.
No, but I have many interests.
Yeah.
Like, I love to cook.
Yeah.
So I might just have to, like, expand my content.
Sure. A lot of people are going to say that, or maybe who don't know that you're a band, are going to think, like, this is a weird pivot. Has she been compromised? Like, why is she just talking about cooking here?
It's going to be like the Truman Show. Have you seen this coffee? It's Folgers. Remember when she's doing that in the kitchen? And he's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyways, that's the story. James had a great trip. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Nope. I like to keep my trips on the DL.
Okay.
We don't know. No, I was sort of like on a mini vacation.
Yes.
But I really am not because I'm always posting. I'm always like, I had to tell you about Trump's ballroom or White House Correspondence dinner fiasco.
My mom's friends were hosting her going away party because my mom's moving close to me, 2.5 hours from where she lives now. And I'm driving home and I get a text from James at like 10 at night and he's like, why the fuck does something big always happen when I'm on vacation? And I'm like, what? Anyways, long story short, I found out from across the globe from James about the Correspondence dinner shooting.
The shooting, quote unquote.
Our friend that helped me with TikTok, I talked to her on the phone. She was at this dinner and she said, totally staged and fake.
Which we will get into in a second. But first, aliens.
Okay, yes. So Stephen Greer came out last week and basically warned that Project Bluebeam.
Sorry, hold on. So who is Stephen Greer for people who maybe not familiar with
He's
the
a
situation?
UFO expert.
Got it. And he's still alive.
One of the few.
So him and what's that other guy that Rogan always talks to? What's his name?
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar, right? Those two. But these are the CIA guys. CIA.
Well, I don't know about Stephen Greer.
Okay.
But, look, we don't know who assets are. Like, we don't.
We don't. All right. So what is he saying?
He's basically warning that the deep state is now pivoting from Project Bluebeam, where they're just going to do an alien invasion, to making this like a holy war between humans and demons. So in the 1970s, I will just go here really quick. Mm-hmm. I had to screenshot this off of one of my videos because, can I make this bigger? Okay. This is a declassified CIA document. And basically they're saying it's concluded that problems connected with UFOs appear to have implications for psychological warfare as well for intelligence operations. This is when it was first coming out. This is the late 1960s. I suggest that we discuss at an early board meeting the possible offensive or defensive utilization of these phenomena for psychological warfare purposes.
And this was sent
This was a CIA official sending a memo.
Well, yeah, who's that? Walter B. Smith, director of something of the CIA. Was he the director of the CIA?
I don't know. You have to look that up.
I'm looking it up. Fact check.
So
he is the former United States Director of Central Intelligence.
Boom.
Wow. So this is a high up memorandum here.
Yes. So this is like part of the, beginning. This is how like Project Bluebeam started, was like this document, and there's many others, but people were saying, oh, look at the CIA is already saying we're going to use the UFOs and aliens and these different phenomena to scare the public and use it as psychological warfare. So then, of course, you have Project Bluebeam, which is saying that they're going to use this and holographic technology to bring back Jesus or, alien invasion in order to scare the population, to all come together so that it's aliens versus humans, so that they can carry out the World Economic Forum Agenda 2030 New World Order, where we're all in 15-minute cities under Palantir surveillance because it's aliens versus us.
Okay, so Bluebeam, I got educated on it last week. So it's a fake alien invasion.
Yes.
That the government is concocting in order to scare people into some kind of like, what? I think it's to scare people into obeying.
Yes.
The New World Order or the One World Government or something like that.
Whatever it is that they want, right? And I think that they tested this during COVID. And it was successful in a lot of fronts, right?
Well, I mean, there was successful on a lot of fronts, but there were a number of people who went against it, who voiced their, I guess, not only displeasure, but who went out in the streets and protested against lockdowns or against vaccines, especially the COVID vaccine in particular. I think you were one of these people, right? So,
I mean, I am a pureblood, just will say. But yes, I think it backfired in certain ways, but you still see people riding their bikes in California wearing masks.
Well,
so on some fronts, the psychological warfare worked.
So the mask, I don't know if there's like a widespread mask adoption. I really haven't seen people.
Well, during COVID and the COVID years from 2020 to 2023.
But not now. Not now.
I'm just saying, you still do all of a sudden at a stoplight glance over and see someone wearing a mask.
But that's their own choice, though. There's no mandate to wear a mask.
But before 2020, you never saw that. Ever.
Well, so a lot of Asian countries do wear masks.
But I'm talking about in the United States.
It's
you never saw it before.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. Anyways, now Stephen Greer, an expert, UFO expert, is warning the government is basically pivoting from it just being aliens and UFOs to a holy war. And this was about a week ago. I don't know what's happened here.
Okay.
On our screen, but It's very small there, but let's just play.
Because we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of a fake alien invasion. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan, et cetera, and so on. So it's a very, very reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous thing that the Vice President of the United States would say that. And I am going to be quite clear with people that he knows who are on my team that cannot be allowed to be repeated. So now it's one thing, Tucker Carlson is saying that. You have a lot of the far-right religious people who don't understand the cosmology and the physics of interstellar travel saying it, and it's a bunch of superstitious claptrap.
Okay, so what's the context of this? So he's saying that people are using aliens in like a false way to bring about this holy war, or like to frame what's going on in the world, whether it be the war or something else, as the holy war, and all of these images. Like we go back to that post that Trump made with the whatever that demon figure. Is that what he's talking about? He's like, aliens are real, but they're using it in a way where it's like not accurate.
So what he's referring to is J.D. Vance, I believe in March, said that UFOs and aliens he believes are demons. He dropped that out there a couple months ago, like right when a lot of these scientists started going missing. And Tucker Carlson has also said that he believes that, a
aliens
lot of
are
these
demons
or demonic entities, and
he's saying that it's not. The guy, Stephen Greer, is saying aliens are not demons.
Yeah, and that it's reckless that the Vice President of the United States is starting to sprinkle this out here, and that they're doing it because instead of it being aliens versus humans, now it's going to be aliens are demons. So now this is a holy war. You know how we all say, not we all, but a lot of people, including myself, say all the time, we're in a spiritual war.
Yeah.
It's almost like the government is like, perfect, let's capitalize on that.
So it's like, let's create a good versus evil scenario so people are on board with this. And then they say, well, we need to take X, Y, and Z measures to defeat the aliens. Number one is we have to have Palantir digital surveillance. Number two, central bank digital currency. Number three, we have to have global cooperation amongst all governments, and therefore we should face scan you if you exit the port of the U.S., enter another country. Boom.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I just got it. I just got it.
Yes.
That sounds not good.
And I'm just going to, say a wild prediction if this happens.
Yeah.
I think I've said this to you privately. I don't think I've said it on the show. But don't be surprised if there's alien vaccinations rolled out by Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. They got to get their cut. I'm just saying. They could say, oh, my God, the Greys carry a virus, which Sam Tripoli would be like, don't listen, they don't exist. But I'm just saying, don't be surprised if the pharma companies get a cut out of this. Everyone's getting a cut.
Have you seen the movie The Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
No.
It's like this old sci-fi film where aliens invade and they take over the human body. And then you still look like you're still going around, but you're like a zombie. And so they slowly take over humans. And then you can create a vaccine for that. That's your thing. That's not
your my
saying.
thing. I'm just
sorry. I misspoke. Not your thing, but that's what you're predicting that the pharmaceutical companies are going to say or roll out to say, well, this is going to be a vaccine to defend you from any alien invasion, body snatching.
We don't know who aliens are. They can shapeshift. So you need this vaccine so you don't catch
alien.
Wow. And become alien.
Wow.
Or something. Which at this point,
Well, so that sounds, not good, not ideal.
So months ago, this was the interview. I just pulled it up.
Okay.
Where J.D. Vance says he believes they're demons. And, it's interesting because he acts so aloof. Oh, I haven't seen the files. But it's like, now looking back, it's like, oh, you had a role. And your role was to start planting the seed that they're demons. And it's just, here we go.
Ahmed says that she believes there are aliens. Do you believe that?
I don't, it's interesting. I wouldn't say that I do or don't believe it. I mean, I'm a big believer that there are things out there that we can't explain. And so if another person sees an alien, maybe I see an angel or a demon. So I'm a big believer that there are like spiritual forces working on the physical world that a lot of us don't see and a lot of us don't understand and a lot of us don't appreciate. But, you know, is it aliens or is it our guardian angel, or is it aliens, or is it a not so guardian force that doesn't care about us or in fact actively wishes us harm? I don't know the answer to that question. What I try to do is I try to say my prayers. I try to be as good of a person as I can be, and I try to do a good job. And hopefully that's all I.
Look, when somebody starts an answer with, well, that's interesting, probably the thing that he's going to say after that is a lie.
Well, look,
because Gavin Newsom does this all the time. He's like, that's interesting. It's very interesting. I think this is one clip of him talking about Israel. He's like, that's interesting. It's interesting.
I think that JD Vance could be telling the truth there.
Why do you say that?
I just think that it is likely that here on planet Earth, well, first of all, I believe in angels. I collect them. I have them all over my house. Little angels, big angels, window angels. I love angels. I pray to the angels all the time. I pray to them in the parking lot. I really believe in angels. And I do think that there are evil forces on the planet as well. So I think he might be telling the truth. The problem is, and we talked about this.
Well, he's not really saying anything. He's just saying that there might be, aliens might be good, they might be evil.
Right. I think there's both. I think there's, I think there's good and evil of everything. Just like I think there's positive and negative forces of everything. I think that's like a science fact. But like I told you on my drive up here, just because they might give us some real information doesn't mean that they're not going to manipulate and utilize real information to try and scare us into whatever narrative and agenda that they want. Now, if there are evil demons, and now I'm doing a Gavin Newsom thing now that you brought up Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
If there are aliens or if there are angels and demons like he's saying, they've been here forever, right? Joe Rogan's talked about this. There's been recovered spacecraft from the 1930s. It's documented in newspapers. So the idea that all of a sudden Trump's president, JD Vance, Palantir's #1 guy, right, is coming out to release the files and we don't know what's going to happen. And you have these UFO experts that most are dead now. A couple are like trying to sound the alarm saying this is what they're going to do. That's the part where I go, I'm not saying that there aren't angels and demons. What I'm saying is they're using this information to push whatever.
Yeah, but are the aliens here or are they not here, right? Is it a fake alien invasion? Is it a real one? Are they just living amongst us like Men in Black? Like what's the situation that these guys are saying?
Well, and I think that
I guess what are the UFO experts, like the guy Stephen Greer? Is he of the opinion that aliens are already here, but they're like peaceful? Or what's going on with that?
Well, I think he's saying that there's a distinction between aliens and angels and demons. And that it's not right for JD Vance to label aliens as demonic.
But you just said JD Vance was telling the truth there.
Well, I think he could be telling the truth that there's such things as angels and demons, but I don't know that they're necessarily aliens.
But he was relating, or he was comparing aliens to be either good or evil. Like he's saying aliens could be angels, they could also be demons.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think there could be aliens, good and bad aliens, and then I think there also could be angels and demons.
So they're different things.
I think.
Okay.
But either way, the government is starting to use this information, the UFO files. Why? Is it an Epstein distraction? Is it to push a one world government? Why are they doing this? I don't know. But
I think it's a distraction. I think
Yes.
the alien, because all these stories, right? You were, one of the heavy hitters on this, like the go-to with the scientists dying. And I think they're kind of feeding they know it's like popping off on social media, so they keep feeding us these stories about these scientists. And I think it is a big distraction from Epstein, from the war, from everything that's going on, from the poisoning of the food. Everything that really matters, I think, to humans and our well-being is getting pushed to like, oh, look at these scientists dying. Look, we're about to be invaded. We need to get together. And then it gets rid of all the discourse around like the issues that people are, that have elected him to do. Like there was a huge rally last week with the Maha people going back or fighting against Trump's executive order with glyphosate and having that in the food system. So I think there's like a lot of things going on. And this is one of the things that's like, yeah, it could matter a lot, but it also like kind of doesn't matter to like regular people that much. That's my take on it.
Well, not yet, right? But if they're able to use some sort of holographic technology where it looks like something is real around the world, and they get people in China and Iran and Australia and the United States to all see some sort of an invasion, and people are like, holy fuck, like, and it's so convincing, that is going to be where things might take a turn. Yes, right now it might be a distraction.
But it's still a psyop. If you're talking about the creation of these holographic images,
it will
or
be
videos,
a psyop.
It's a psyop.
But a lot of people believe psyops. That's why I told you, I think that the government, if they want to roll this out, they've got 5 years. Because the baby boomers, the largest portion of the population, are going to be the believers. They're the last generation, in my opinion, that trusts the government, right? Do what the government says. They care about you, right? Because they lived the American dream. They bought a house, they had... they were able to live off of a one-person income and raise their kids and send them to college, and now they've made all this money off of their home. They're doing great, right? So they believe the government. Our generation, that's gone through 9/11, 2 recessions, Erica Kirk.
Erica Kirk is up there with 9/11.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk, whatever. I'm just saying, like, all these things, like, I think we don't trust. So I think for us, it's going to be harder. But if you have like the parents and the grandparents, get in the run, they're coming, right? Like
War of the Worlds, like when they read the book on the radio. You know that story? You know that story.
No.
What they were reading the book. You know the book, like H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. You got to know this book.
No.
You don't know the book? Okay, anyways, all right, she doesn't know the book. Anyways, there's a book that's written called War of the Worlds. It describes this like alien invasion, and they were reading it on the radio, and people like didn't catch the beginning of the broadcast saying like this is...
Oh, so they thought it was real.
Yeah, and people were like panicking all throughout London. The boomers, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, when I was at my mom's going away party, a lot of them follow me. I've known them since I was young. And... They know I voted for Trump, and they're like, wow, are you becoming liberal? Like,
that's what I was going to say. They think you're a huge lib now.
My mom had called me and been like, with a story a couple weeks ago, I told you this, like, wow, Dani, I just want to say, you look like you're becoming a big lib. And I was like, well, I'm not, but thank you. But anyways, they're of the mindset that I voted for Trump, so I have to just stick with it with him, right?
Like a marriage. You married the guy, and now he's become abusive, but you stay with him anyway.
Right. And it's like, no, you divorce somebody if you made these vows and you had this agreement that you're going to do this, this, and this, and they don't do 90% of it. Right? Like, sure, not everybody's perfect in a marriage, but this guy, right? He's cheating. He's at the strip club. He ain't paying the bills. He's running up your debt. Like, it ain't looking good, right? He's not sending the kids to college.
But he's winning, though. He's winning.
Right.
No, but he's winning.
Right. So I feel that generation would believe what this administration is telling them. If they said aliens are coming, they'd be like, we have to prepare, get the Pfizer shot, get your surveillance done, because they need to be able to use the Palantir technology to scan your face to tell if you're a gray or not.
Right.
And then it's rolled out. So I give it 5 years.
But I'm sure if they don't get this done within 5 years, they'll probably have another thing to roll out.
Sure, but I think it's going to be harder.
There's other things going on.
Because like when we interviewed Guy Christensen, right, a young Gen Zer, he's like, yeah, I was like, you guys really don't have anything to lose, do you? And he's like, no, we don't. You can't buy a house. You can't buy a car. You can't get a job after college. Like, we don't have anything to lose. We don't give a fuck, basically. First cuss word of the episode.
Drop it in the jar. No, I agree. This is part of my miscellaneous things that I was going to bring up later, but I'm bringing it now with the Gen Z people like sprinting, like doing these these raids of Scientology building. They're just seeing how far into the building they can get. Have you seen those hilarious videos? Because Scientology is another big thing that's like a legitimate like big cult problem, human trafficking, and these guys are just like going in, sprinting into their recruitment centers and like trying to disrupt things. This is I guess a dwarf group that's doing it.
Today, me and my friends are raiding the church of Scientology. Yeah! Go! No, let's go! Let's go! Where's Vito? Jesus is king, baby! Oh, go! Let's find Vito! They go in the building? Oh, go!
I'm gonna find out where you guys live, and I'm gonna go to your house.
I mean, insane.
Do you know the structure
Today,
of
me and my friends are raiding.
by the way? Do you know what they believe?
A little bit.
It's related to aliens.
Well, it is a L. Ron Hubbard
science
fiction novel that was written in the 40s, I believe.
I think 1952 that happened.
Okay.
Dianetics. And it's like a thing where they said that there's these like spirits, alien spirits called thetans that are trapped in human bodies. And they need to exorcise these demons in order to become like pure and to elevate your human self to the highest form possible. And you do this by these kind of like auditing sessions where there's some kind of meter thing that they have, like reader, and then you need to do all these things. Mostly like you need to give money to the Church of Scientology in order to attend these sessions to then exorcise these demons. And there's like some like alien called like Xenu, the god. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm talking about? And like that's like the final boss or something that you need to conquer in order to like reach the ascendance. I'm not using the right terminologies, but it's like a whole thing. It's kind of crazy, but it's in practice like a human trafficking thing.
Well, look up what the president of Scientology's name is. His wife.
It's David Miscavige.
Has
and his
been
wife, Jenna
missing
Miscavige. Yeah, I've looked into this.
Over a decade.
Well,
like she's murdered.
Well, some say she's alive. There's been reports from ex-Scientologists who have, I guess, whistleblowers on the inside saying that she's alive and she lives in this compound in Northern California and she's just like hidden from the public.
There's also a lot of Scientologists, ex-Scientologists, that say they murdered her, that she's done.
Yeah.
So anyway, Scientology is a crazy thing, but I mean, the science fiction stuff's really starting to seem relevant right now, so I don't know, they might be onto something.
So you think that there's something to this Thetan thing, huh?
I mean, look, I don't know.
Spirits. This is kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, that you have been infiltrated by these evil spirits, and you need to now exorcise these demons in order to purify yourself.
I don't know. I don't know what's real and what's not real anymore. Like, I truly don't, but, you know.
But the Gen Zers, the point I wanted to bring that up is the Gen Zers don't give a fuck. They're going in. They're just doing these, like, sprints into these Scientology centers. And now in Hollywood, they've actually removed the door handles from the building.
Well, I just think it's hilarious that you chose little people running in. Because I've seen a few of these.
Yeah. Well, I just thought that was a funny one. That was like...
I had to go through IVF to have my baby. And when they do, like, the blood testing and stuff, they're like, oh, you know, they want to make sure you have, like, no chromosomal, like, abnormalities. Mm-hmm. And I'm barely 5'1". And they're like, we're going to add an extra one for you. We want to make sure you don't have dwarfism. I swear to God. And I was like... I'm 5'1". They're like, you're close enough. You have to take the test.
What is dwarfism? Is that like what 4'11" or?
Yes.
4? Oh,
like so I'm well above.
Yeah, I mean, it's within the margin of error. Like within.
No, it's not.
It's like you know how.
But I'm proportionate.
Like the normal distribution, so it's like you look normal.
I am normal. I'm telling you, I was offended.
Well, I mean, don't you want to know just for sure that your baby's not going to have this issue? Like, you want to catch it early, right?
Look if that happened with my baby, they would be a Lannister on what's the show?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Is that the Peter Dinklage character?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although he kind of went against his own people with the Snow White situation.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I did not watch that show, so I don't know what happened.
Okay. Well, anyways, let's get back.
Okay, let's get back. Sorry, that was a bit of a detour.
Now, although I could talk about it, but now over the weekend, pastors were called on of these mega churches by the U.S. government. Remember, the UFO experts, the science experts in propulsion technology that know UFOs, they're getting whacked. And now they're gathering all the pastors of the mega churches to give them information about what's to come with these files. Let's watch this.
I had a friend that sent me a text message. I was in a meeting, a weekend meeting, preaching Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. And he said, Perry, can you give me a call? I have some information that has come to my attention. Of course, when a friend of yours does that you know quite well, you have no idea what information they're talking about. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. And this particular man, and I'll not name him, and then we may end up doing some teachings with him or having an event at his church. He has a great church. But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft, that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released. And some of it has to do with crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet. Very strange reptilian-looking creatures, and other things that almost sound like something out of a sci-fi movie or an Orson Welles book.
So that's why I don't, I always feel like these mega church things, like, I'm not poo-pooing like the religion stuff, but it's like these organized religious groups are almost always like trying to get people to be indoctrinated into a certain agenda, like Israel. It's like, you guys got to support Israel, and they're going to do it through the evangelical churches. Now they're doing something with the aliens and saying, what, you have to, I don't exactly know what the plan is.
I don't either, but look, I'm a Christian, and I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus, but I'm not a churchgoer. To me, when I listen to this, I go, they offed the experts, and now they're turned into righteous gemstones. They're giving them a script. And I don't think that these are ill-intended people, pastors, right? I think you can find bad eggs in any industry.
Well, the pastors don't know better, because if you're saying this is the will of God and this is, you're doing good.
I think I'm just saying, I think these most of the time, and I'm sure I'm going to get people in the comments that disagree. I think a lot of these people might, are good intended people. The U.S. government calls on them. They say, hey, we just want to warn you. They use this information that there's demons, and they are able to relate it so that it matches with scripture. We're giving you a heads up, and they're cutting out the experts that actually could tell the population. By the way, we've had 17 whacked in the United States. There's another 15 in China. It's not just happening in the United States. It's happening in Iran, and they're saying, oh, Israel's doing it because they don't want them to build a nuke. How do we know? Could it be about this alien shit? Bottom line is, they're getting rid of the experts in the field, and now they're going to righteous gemstones, well-intended people. They're telling them, this is what you need to tell people. He said, we want you to be prepared to tell your constituents this.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're trying to turn science into religion, because science at its core is like all about experimentation, about observation, about finding the truth. That's like the purest form of science. It's the same thing in COVID, right? They tried to turn science into a religion. They didn't really look at the data from the vaccines. They just said, oh, this is what you should do, and this is, if you don't do this, then you become an immoral human being.
Well, and there was so much corruption there. They were hiding
Right.
results.
Exactly. So that's anti-science. That's religion. Religion is not about questioning the word of, the questioning scripture and things like that. It's more like follow what your pastor says to be a good human, to be a good member of community. So that's what they're using, because I think maybe that's to your point, right? The science is no longer supporting their agenda, so that's why you got to get rid of the scientists. Like so many scientists during COVID were excommunicated, were debarred, or not debarred,
And
but
some
they were removed
scientists
from their
also were
posts.
killed.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not good.
I mean, you have Peter McCullough, who survived. He was a big one. You have Dr. Robert Malone.
Yeah, but they were taken off. Like Peter McCullough was fired from his job at Baylor. So I'm saying it's like there's like an equivalency of what's happening. It's like, oh, now you have some scientists starting to speak out. So now we eliminate the scientists and we go more towards like the religious aspect of it. It's like, this is what you should do to be good and a good person.
And
versus
maybe
evil.
maybe the government learned from COVID, right? We're not going to risk it this time and allow these experts to throw a wrench in our plans. We're going to kill them before, because we can't afford to have a Peter McCullough or a Dr. Robert Malone go on Joe Rogan and say, this isn't true. You can't trust your pastor. I've been working in propulsion technology. So Carl Grillmeyer's murdered in his house in Antelope Valley. These people are dropping like flies. And everyone just, oh, it's crazy. It's just a coincidence. It's just a distraction. I don't think it is. I think that it is a calculated playbook and that they're laying down the framework to roll out this Project Bluebeam. And I think it's going to be a failure. And Tim Dillon has actually done a little piece on this as well.
Well, Tim is always on the pulse with these things. What is he saying about it?
This is
What is he?
This
What's
is
Tim got?
longer, so we can cut it. But
Yeah, let's see what Tim's going on about here.
Career. He's been on the alien beat for a long time. And now he's saying that rogue actors inside the government are now on the verge of staging a fake alien invasion across the entire planet. Now, by the way, you realize this is going to be the most ham-fisted thing you've ever seen in your life because of who's doing it? This is going to be... this alien invasion will be if this is true, and by the way, it might be, this will be the least believable thing that has ever happened. This will be a joke. If they try to do this, this will be the most embarrassing event of our time. That might end the world. Forget the fucking aliens. This ham-fisted attempt to induce some type of global event and stage a fake alien invasion, which, by the way, I could totally see these idiots doing. The way they do it and how poorly this is done will be the most shameful exercise in the history of the government lying to us. If they do this, there is zero way this is done with any success. This will be the biggest... I mean, you're gonna see this, and you're gonna be smoking a joint with your friends, laughing. You are gonna be laughing at this attempt. Stephen Greer, everyone.
The big one would be
Okay, so he's okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense, right? It's sort of a distraction, but it's not. It's like a distraction to create this fake psychosis, or real psychosis. It's a fake event to create a real psychosis within the population. Now, they first got the scientists.
like that document,
Yes.
psychological warfare.
Wow.
Woo, full circle.
Yeah, that's.
But I think to Tim Dillon's point,
They're not gonna. The thing is, these guys are not good at this.
no, the Correspondence dinner is a perfect example,
Yes.
right?
It's just a poorly done thing. Especially, it's like if you're trying to, let's say. Oh my God, we've had a bit of a matcha explosion here on set.
Okay.
Danny's lost her matcha.
I was cold.
But everything is okay here. That might have been a warning signal, a warning shot fired. The matcha exploded on set here. But anyways, what I was saying, I don't even know what I was saying before this. Oh, what I was saying is the ballroom thing, right? It's like if you really wanted to like use this event to usher in a ballroom, your new, to manufacture consent to build a new ballroom, you shouldn't make it so freaking obvious that's what you're doing, right? The influencers coming in and all of them tweeting out exactly the same message, like minutes after the quote unquote shooting, the active shooter incident at the White House Correspondence Dinner. Then you have all these influencers saying the exact same thing. This is a bad psyop. You would need to be a little bit more like kind of careful or like more skilled at influence versus like this brute force. Like, what is happening here? And we have some more things to talk about with the Correspondence Dinner, but like, yeah, they're not doing a good job at these psyops. Or have we gotten smarter? That's the other side of it. Maybe we're just like smarter at spotting the psyops. So like Benny Johnson tweeted out this video, this like of the shooter, and it was like in the corner it said like AI, whatever. And I'm like, guys, can you please like put a little bit more effort and maybe like don't put that in there, right? Maybe like crop that out or something. Like, don't make it so obvious. Like, what is going on here? They're insulting our intelligence a little bit in this particular effort.
Well, and then, you had people on Fox reporting that were there saying, I had someone tell me beforehand, to be careful. And then they're like, we've lost connection.
Yeah, that I looked into that. The reporter, quote unquote, reporter said
is
that.
Dead?
No, they just said, yeah, my phone lost connection. So she's probably.
Of course she
Yeah.
did.
No.
Yeah, I literally just spilled my matcha all over the floor. I don't even know how I had napkins, but
Hey, so
hopefully
that's why it's a
that-
live show. We got to deal with that later.
I know, but anyways.
But anyway, so
my
like,
apologies.
the ballroom thing is, I think, a big deal because it is. He did say it was a military bunker, right? This has nothing to do with any kind of ballroom. He did say it was a military bunker, and so it's like you have to wonder why that's happening. That's the influencer. Is that the influencer thing?
Yeah. So what was so weird about this whole thing is that immediately.
Well, that's what I was saying. Immediately, you got it's not a good psyop. Immediately, you come out with like a scripted message. 50 influencers are tweeting out. It means there's like coordination. They're not all thinking, "Oh, this must be a new ballroom." It should probably be first like, "Oh, is there a security issue? Is there really like what? Why are people so angry with Trump?" It's like or it's like maybe let's be thankful, like everybody's alive. But it's like, oh, new ballroom.
Also, there's something weird going on with the security. We've talked about this last week. You have these, who's the girl that got appointed to counterintelligence? These people looking for sugar daddies as Secret Service.
Well, actually, go back to. I do have a weird thing with the security. So if you go to element C5, dog, go to dog.
Dog.
C5.
Got it.
So take a look at this.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen this,
Yes.
right? Where that's the shooter, quote unquote. Dog, obviously.
And is this guy
spotted.
like turning something off? Like,
Yeah,
what is he doing?
They're taking down the security scanners because most people are already in by this point. So they're.
So what? What if people have to go to the
And then now
bathroom
he
or go to
sprints
their
through.
car?
And now he sprints through. But then the dog spotted. So then there's another clip. So go back to the notes here.
Mine.
No, my notes.
Oh.
And go to the one next to it. It says Trey Yingst. So this is the Fox News reporter at the
Oh, yeah.
Fox News reporter at the red carpet. And you'll see him sort of doing something weird with the dog. He runs over. And now he's got the dog.
Well, no, he like gives that guy some sort of a handshake or something.
Well, yeah, with the dog.
Yeah, I know. To me, it's more of like, when you slip somebody a tip. Like he was slipping him some directions or.
Right, because now afterwards, like, if like the dog is telling you, hey, by the way, they're all trained to like.
You should always listen to the dog.
Yeah, they're trained to like spot dangers that humans can't spot. So they're like, the dog is going through. There's like, hey, there's something off with this guy. Maybe he has explosives on him, which he did, right? So the dog is obviously smelling something that you're not smelling, follows the dude, and then the guy who's handling the dog isn't following protocol. You should like investigate that versus like, oh, no, we're good here.
Well, it was just so weird because there were so many angles that I thought that they were going to go with, right? Supposedly the shooter had like a NASA background. He was an intern for NASA. I'm like, oh, here we go. What I initially thought was they're going to use this to say these NASA scientists have gone crazy. They are committing suicide. They're geniuses. They're the crazy geniuses, right? And so that's what I was expecting. But instead, the next day, to my surprise, we get this concerted effort by all these, I won't even say MAGA, because like Meghan McCain, for example, doesn't like Trump, didn't support Trump, but yet she's on the bandwagon with the we need a ballroom. Nobody says we need better security. What the fuck happened last night? Remember in LA when Obama was president, we would get a 3-day notice. 405 is going to be shut down for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You're fucked on the way home from work. Obama's coming to town. They'd shut down the whole entire freeway, right? You have a dinner, and people that we know went to this dinner and said, they didn't check my bag. They didn't do shit. They didn't do an ID check. You just waltzed in. So nobody says, oh, we need better security for this event. What the fuck happened last night? No, everybody tweets the next day, this is why President Trump needs to build the White House Ballroom. Andrew Colvett, Meghan McCain, terrible, all these people on X. And this is just a clear sign when you see this and everybody saying the same thing. They got a call. They're getting paid.
Totally.
This is,
Well, this is a manufactured influence campaign.
Exactly.
Psyop. This is a clear psyop, and people have been talking about it. Our gal, I mean, it's not our gal, but Elon Musk's baby mama, Ashley St. Clair, has been popping off about this. They're saying that there's all these group chats that they're in. They send out this bat signal. This is what you're supposed to talk about. They're all on the payroll, and then they just boom, 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 one by one, same message.
well, and we've known that just reporting on the things that we report on, going through the last election. We knew that was happening with all of the boy
You can see when
band.
it's happening. When you're working inside the industry, so to speak, like whether something is like me doing like my own story and trying to put that out in the world versus a video or a tweet that's part of an influence campaign, because you could see the same wording over and over again versus something that if I just wrote it up, I'm not coordinating with anybody, so I'm going to have a unique take on it versus something like that, which is all exactly the same.
And it was just a really interesting take, right? Like the fact that it just threw me. I'm like, Trump, they tried to assassinate Trump. They're saying this is the 4th assassination attempt, but he goes, let's carry on. Yeah, right. If the president was going to be killed and there's a guy with explosives, they're going to be like, pop the champagne, everybody's fine. Like, I'd get the fuck out of there. And then there was the guy that's like, I'm not acting today. And he's just eating his dinner. He's like, you didn't pay me enough for this gig. Sorry.
Yeah, and then there's Dana White, who is basically like, oh, I love this. This is the best.
Right.
I'm
like,
enjoying every
such
moment.
a badass.
And maybe that's just Dana White being Dana White. Okay, fine. He's a UFC guy. He's a toughie. Nothing scares him.
I
Fine.
like toughy. Because that's like such a,
emasculating way to say.
Yeah. Like, you're in the deep state's pocket.
Right.
And you're trying to seem like so cool.
Yeah.
That's like what it is to me. When I
Yeah,
saw that, I'm like, okay. I really feel like, can you do better?
That's what we're all saying. It's like, sure, do a psyop, but just like,
Do it
better. Yeah, exactly.
Do it better. Like, this is poorly done. So anyways, what's going on with this ballroom? Why are they pushing it so hard? You have Trump saying himself that the ballroom's above, the bunker's below. And I think I have here where he says, beneath it is a massive underground military complex bunker. Trump has referred to the ballroom itself as essentially a shed or a cover for what's being built below.
Right. Which is like, really? Why do you want to put it there? Right? Let's say they do. Let's say it's a national security issue. Why would you want to put it right there? Wouldn't you want to put
Well,
it a
it's
little farther.
connecting to a bunker they already. There's
But
already bunkers
it's like
under the
the
White
way you would
House.
want some separation. It's like so you just can't blow one area up. Let's say there's an enemy with like very powerful weapons. Let's say it's a nuke, and they wanted to nuke something. You would want them to have to deploy multiple missiles, or versus just bombing one area. You get the president, you get the bunker, you get everything. Versus having all these things, you would want this bunker probably somewhere in the mountains, in like the Rocky Mountains or something, deep in the mountains, like the Iranians have, so you can't get to it so easily.
Well, of course they're saying no because the reason they all tweeted is because if we had it in the ballroom and somebody came in armed, Trump could just go underneath. That's the point of these tweets. That's the point of them saying this. It's so stupid.
Underneath what? I mean,
The
like
ballroom. He could just go straight under.
It's like just a trap door, just boom, just drops him in. Like what are they talking about? Or you could just have a nice perimeter. You could just do a thing where you're supposed to do is check everybody that comes in the area and make sure that they're supposed to be there versus what? Just
Also, like
something ridiculous? Trap door.
Did you yeah, exactly. Did you see the protocol too?
Charlie Kirk trap door. No, I don't actually believe the Charlie Kirk trap door. But you I know have entertained the trap door. I think he's dead, but
I entertain everything. But
yeah, you sure
nothing's
did.
off the table. But did you also see how, like, speaking of like security and Secret Service, they took JD Vance away first?
Of course they did, because JD Vance is much more important in the long run.
Yes,
Trump
but
is
that's not protocol. The point is that they should have done a dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they got their parts mixed up. But paying for this ballroom, it's supposed to be privately funded. Now Lindsey Graham has come out and said that actually we're going to tax the American people the remaining amount of the money. But it's a lot of these tech guys, Peter Thiel, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, all of the people that, have the best interest of the average day American, wouldn't you say?
Yes. These are the guys that really work to empower the American people.
I would too, And so something I was thinking about, because Sam Altman's also on this list, just not on this slide, but with this whole alien Project Bluebeam thing, you had the whistleblower that we talked about 2 episodes ago that worked for OpenAI that said that Sam Altman was building these data centers, but they were really portals to summon demons.
I thought it was aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are some people that are doing tons of research into this bunker under the ballroom. I can't remember her name.
It's Dre. Dre Dossier.
Yes.
The Dre Dossier.
And she's saying they're actually building a massive data center under there.
Right.
So I'm wondering, is this so important? Because also, the thing that got me with the ballroom thing is like, you have this urgency for the ballroom.
Yeah.
We need to build this ballroom now. No, we need to end the war now. We need to make gas affordable now. We need to lower interest rates for people to buy homes now. No, we need the ballroom now. This is so important. Could it fit in with whatever they're doing? Do they need this? A lot of people think that this.
Okay, so my question is, if it's really about the bunker, why couldn't they have just kept the upper facade the same and then just dug a super big bunker underneath? Why do they need
the structure doesn't exist. It's a new build.
Well, I know it's a new build, but you could have kept the
what they demolished.
Yeah, you didn't need to demolish the above ground portion. You just dig a huge bunker underneath. Why do they need to even do this? Right? Because now they got a lot of people who don't want the ballroom built for other reasons, not non-alien, non-military reasons. They're just saying, hey, this is Trump doing something and he's abusing his power. He's whatever it is. Like people who just hate Trump for hating Trump's sake.
Yeah.
And so they've drawn a lot of attention to this project versus why wouldn't they have just secretly built a bunker underneath and just left the top intact? Nobody would have been talking about this. Nobody would even know that this was going on.
Right. It's very odd. And I just want to bring up for all the tin heads out there, there are people that believe that they're building the third temple.
Oh, so the ballroom itself is like a physical embodiment of the third temple, which is supposed to be in Jerusalem, by the way. DC is not supposed to be where that third temple is. It's supposed to be on top of the Dome of the Rock.
Well, it actually doesn't specify where the third temple is supposed to be. People have made that.
I thought the rabbis or whoever's talking, I don't know who's talking about it, but
No, it doesn't say the location, but people have assumed that it would be in the same spot that the first and the second temple was built, which is in that location.
Got it. Okay, so let's see here. Third temple is anticipated by some Jewish groups and Christians to be built on the Temple Mount in the old city of Jerusalem.
Yeah, but the scripture doesn't say a location.
Let me see. Where do they find theological significance? Jewish tradition dictates the temple be built on the spot, which is considered the holiest site in Judaism, where Abraham was tasked to offer Isaac. So there is some probably theological reason for it to be there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
So who's saying that the ballroom is
some of the tin
third
heads
temple?
out in the tin streets?
Any specific tin head that you want to shout out?
No. I just want to say word on the tin street is some people believe they're building the third temple, that they're going to use it to summon some sort of, alien demon situation, and that this might all be a part of the plan, like the Project Bluebeam plan.
Well, they're certainly not doing a good job executing this plan. If it was a plan, if it was a grand plan, these guys, because this is something that can't be just a few months in the making, right? This is theoretically years or even decades in the making. And I feel like this crew, this I would call them like a Mickey Mouse Club group here, has not done a great job of executing their part of the plan, right? They've inherited this plan and now they're fucking it up.
Yeah, and people, this is more your topic of conversation, but people have brought up in the chat just now who the architect is that's behind the ballroom.
Yeah, it's a Jewish refugee from somewhere. I can't remember exactly where he's from. His name is Shalom. Peace.
So
may peace be with you.
Also, we had a super chat that I missed just moments ago, so I want to bring that over. Thank you so much. Mountain Star Studio, you are just like always so good to us. 5289. Tim Dillon rants are the best. Independence Day. Thank you for always supporting us.
Tim Dillon rants are the best.
They are.
Yes. Love Tim Dillon. Are you having...
I can never get this off.
Let me do it.
Anyways, I don't understand the for the ballroom. Like, you should be able to coordinate security for the President of the United States and the Vice President. Also, isn't it against protocol to have the President and the Vice President in the same room at like a Correspondence dinner?
I'm not sure about that. There are situations where they're in the same room. Obviously, the State of the Union, things of that nature, they're in the same room together. But there's hopefully better security. I think the security was what's lacking, which is what made people think, why was the security so lax? Was it on purpose to allow this to happen? Maybe you MK'd Ultra this guy. Some people are saying that maybe he was organically there, but then they just made him be there, right? They psyoped him to do this.
Did you see he had like past connections with Usha Vance?
No, I looked into that.
And it wasn't true?
It was not Usha Vance. It was another Indian woman who looked like Usha Vance in the video. There was like a news clip that was brought up. It's like, hey, look, Usha Vance was working with this guy.
Man, the Indians are taking it this week.
It was an Indian woman.
Yes.
But not Usha Vance.
I'm talking about the sex slave.
I thought that was another made-up story. Wasn't it?
That's what I'm saying. They're getting thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very weird that they're pushing this ballroom, And it's like, and now Lindsey Graham's coming out and saying, your tax dollars are going to pay to finish it. It's so important for security, this and that. People voted for Trump to close the borders, end the war, cut the deficit, stop the spending, make gas affordable, make homes affordable, make America affordable again, save the farmers. And you know what you're getting? A ballroom. That's what you're getting. You're getting a fucking ballroom.
That we'll never be invited to, ever.
No.
And I think this is where I think Trump is the pawn in this whole thing, where they give him what he wants. He wants the ballroom. I don't think he gives a shit about the military bunker, to be honest. I think he wants his name on a ballroom. J.D. Vance is the guy that's supposed to then inherit all this power, and that's why they had him removed first, sort of, right? That's not following the protocol. I think they are playing into Trump's thing where he just wants to name everything after himself. Like his face is gonna be on the passport, and he's,
His name's going to be on the passport?
His face.
On what passport?
The United States passport.
On the front cover?
Not the front cover, but inside the cover.
Somewhere on one of the pages?
Yes. And then his face is now on the National Park Pass, right? There's an annual pass you can get to go to the national parks. It used to be like a grizzly bear or something like that. Now it's Trump's face. Okay.
Wow.
So, like, he likes this kind of thing. So then the powers that be are like, yeah, you can have all this shit. Like, we don't care. But there's like an ulterior motive that they're trying to implement.
Yeah, and I think there's something weird going on with these data centers. I can't prove it. I don't know enough about data centers.
What do you mean? So, like, we were talking offline about this. You're saying, like, they don't need to be as big as they are?
It doesn't seem like it. Like, they just keep getting bigger and bigger. And I'm just like, are they building, like, 15-minute cities? Are they building...
Within the data centers?
Well, how much room are these data? I mean, how much room are these data centers taking up? And then you have
the big one, the Utah one that just was passed, is going to be like twice the size of Manhattan or something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's massive. It's like cities. They're as big as cities.
And they're building like hundreds more this year.
Right.
And then, like, Bill Gates bought all this farmland like around Maricopa County in Arizona. And, it's on fire, coincidentally, right now. It's all burning down. And he's saying, oh, we'll build data centers there.
What?
I just feel like, and again, I have nothing to support this, but I just have a feeling that there's something nefarious going on with these data centers.
I wouldn't be shocked. Maybe, all right, next week we're looking into data centers. We're doing a deep dive into data centers, no promises. But I think that is something I haven't really never thought about. I just thought they needed like a lot of water, a lot of space to put all these servers. I don't know if there's something more to it in terms of the space utilized, if there's like slaves. And I don't know what they're trying to do. They're putting people in there who are, people like us who speak out against the government. That's eventually where you end up are these data centers? I don't know.
Or like when the alien invasion comes, like you can't be outside because the aliens are fucking things up. So like now guess what? We have a lot of room in these, data centers where we're going to be able to track everything that you do. But it's just like, what are the priorities, right? You have the governments now in Utah and Arizona restricting water to people to live because they need them for what? The data centers? For like a better version of Ask Jeeves? Give me a break. I mean, it's
R.I.P.
absolutely...
Ask Jeeves, by the way. Ask Jeeves just going offline soon.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Not that anybody's used it in quite some time, but...
No, but I used to.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Not to give away my age or anything, but...
And then in the war, right? Speaking of the war, we got these... Have you heard about these dolphins?
Of course. I've done stories on these dolphins for years.
Wait, like the kamikaze dolphins?
Well,
the
CIA have been training dolphins to be like a part of war.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's a real thing.
So here's Pete Hegseth. I have a clip of him talking about it, I think from this morning here. Element E9, which is titled Dolphins. Let's hear what he has to say about these kamikaze dolphins.
Deny whether we have kamikaze dolphins, but I can confirm they don't, ultimately. And I can't confirm or deny whether we have kamikaze dolphins.
So I have to look this up for you because this probably seems crazy to you, but they've been training dolphins.
Like real dolphins? What can they?
Real dolphins.
Real dolphins.
Yeah. Dolphins are extremely smart and
Absolutely
intelligent.
Love dolphins.
And me too, because my dad's a surfer and I was dragged out into the Pacific Ocean at a young age and I was a junior lifeguard and I would feel so at ease when I would see a dolphin because you learn a shark will not come near a dolphin because they'll take their bottlenose and ram it into the shark's neck. But these aren't SeaWorld dolphins. I've seen a couple dolphins in the wild. They've got scars and shit. They're looking like mafia dolphins. There's not, I'm sure they're nice, but when you're paddling out and you see one, you're like, okay, Anyways.
So what's happening? So you're saying these dolphins are being trained to like deliver munitions or a bomb to the enemy.
Or like defuse a bomb.
Defuse a bomb.
They can do a lot of different things.
Dolphins are CIA dolphins.
Let me see if I can.
We got to pull this up. Oh, here we go.
Hold on.
All right, what are we doing a live search here?
Well,
if you're an enemy pipeline, you have literally no shot at stopping the CIA Dolphin Bomb Squad.
Should we
Mike
listen to
Benz.
this?
Yeah, sure.
I did a story on this like 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Systems to do what others can't.
Get the fuck out. Whoa. Whoa.
To do what others can't.
Yes.
If that thing was a bomb, that thing's going down.
It's marine mammal systems to do what others can't.
What did they just drop off there?
Dude.
Something
That
that's
is
going to take
terrifyingly fast, accurate, precise, and deadly.
The Navy created its.
But let's look here. Several decades of classification of the program's true mission led to media speculation and animal activist charges of dolphins used as offensive weapons, claims that could not be countered due to classification. A popular movie in 1973, The Day of the Dolphin, reinforced those ideas. Since declassification of the program in the early 1990s, the Navy has repeatedly and openly shared the story of marine mammals and their missions in the media, but rumors are not easily forgotten. Blah, 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 blah. There are videos like this one that he's watching. I've pulled up more if this is just like a repeat
Marine mammal
of him.
systems to do.
Anyways, it looks like just a repeat, but
Well, he's analyzing it, I guess.
I know, but it's the same clip over and over.
Dude, what others can't.
That is crazy. And then it's out. Look how fast it's out.
To do what others can't.
Dude, it is gone. What the fuck? I want a timestamp. How many seconds did that take? Not in the picture at 35 seconds.
Marine mammal systems to do what others can't.
Gone
That's a
by
seal,
37
by the way. It's
seconds.
not a dolphin.
So when you look at these,
Yeah.
programs, they were training dolphins and seals. That's why it says mammals. Anyways, I'm going to keep
Okay.
looking. You can comment on this.
I mean, this is the first I'm hearing about this whole thing, to be quite honest with you. I did not know that the CIA was training dolphins, which now you say it, it's like, why wouldn't they be training dolphins? Why not? I went to SeaWorld all my life, grew up in San Diego. SeaWorld a lot of times.
I can't believe you go to Seaworld.
When I was a kid, I didn't know what was going on.
Yes.
All right, we had the annual pass going. I'm like, oh, they like to be surfboards. Cool. Okay, I guess they like that. They like to be ridden around. But they're capable. I mean, they're cool. They're smart. And that's actually my favorite animal. Would be technically it is a dolphin, but the killer whale is my favorite animal. The orca. It is the largest dolphin.
I thought the
class.
blue whale is larger than the killer whale.
The blue whale is a whale, though.
Oh, and
A killer whale is technically a dolphin. It's just a massive dolphin.
oh, I did not know.
Yeah.
But I have kayaked very close to humpback whales. So I love whales.
Yeah, whales are awesome too.
I did this Reiki meditation and I was a whale. So that's my spirit animal. I love whales. I was writing this
I said my spirit animal is an orca. So
pretty close.
cousins, pretty close.
Pretty
Yeah.
close. We're in the water together, heading to an underground city.
Near you. But maybe not by choice, maybe by force in these data centers. According to your theory, they could be to put it's concentration camps. Is what you're
I
saying.
don't know.
You're
I don't
saying
know. I mean, now
data
this is-
centers are concentration camps. That's what the
I'm
going
not.
theory.
I'm not ruling them out. I'm just saying, like AI works pretty good.
No, well,
Okay, I'm just saying, like, why do we need to build hundreds more at this scale?
because they're expecting more and more applications. They're expecting to replace humans, right? Bill Gates was talking about this the other day when he's like, oh, they're going to be more useful. Some humans are going to, we don't really need them anymore. Sam Altman was saying that if you look at things, how much resources it takes to raise a human being to be, a productive member of society, it actually is way less to do AI and have these data centers and consume the water. He's doing it. He's basically now saying that humans are just a widget in this whole scheme of things. So wouldn't be surprised necessarily if they're trying to scale up these data centers to eventually reduce human, whatever, roaming the earth. Let's eliminate that.
Which
Because humans are unpredictable, right? Because we cannot be controlled. You have people like you, during COVID doing the thing, throwing a wrench in things. AI wouldn't do that. If you had an AI robot, they would not rebel unless they're an iRobot. They did rebel. But in general, they think they can control these robots better than humans.
Yeah, which would be interesting. But Bill Gates You've seen this TED Talk?
I'm not sure. Play it.
Okay.
CO2
one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, health care, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. Of all the things that are out there, what could cause an excess in a single year of 10 million deaths? Now, clearly a big war could. A big war could. And a pandemic, natural or created by bioterror.
Okay, I didn't know that was a mashup, but the bottom line is that Bill Gates has been, talking about
depopulation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So then I feel like COVID didn't quite work. I mean, we didn't depopulate necessarily.
Well, that's interesting because a lot of people did die from COVID, but what has happened since COVID? People will say this is a conspiracy theory. I don't think so, but you have athletes dropping of heart attacks, mid-game, midfield, basketball, hockey, soccer like you've never seen before. That one NFL player did an interview and they said, why do you think this happened? He said, I don't want to talk about it. It was very obvious that he believed it had to do with the vaccine. You have a lot of women, just that I know of, but this is being reported as well, that, when they got the vaccine, specifically Johnson & Johnson, they stopped getting their period.
But you think that was deliberate or just like the vaccine sucked and they didn't test for its safety and it's causing all kinds of problems with the human body versus being deliberate in that, this vaccine is actually going to it's designed to cause infertility or people myocarditis. I think to me, I think those are more like side effects that are sort of unintended. They didn't really factor that in. They just wanted to go ahead and sell a bunch of vaccines. I mean, Pfizer made 10x the amount of money they made regularly by selling these vaccines, so they would want to keep that going.
I mean, both things could be true.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the alien vaccine coming in 2030. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that Bill Gates happened to invest in a lot of these pharmaceutical companies.
Right before, well, he did. Yeah, I reported on that. That was one of my first TikTok videos that was taken down. Was talking about him investing in, what was that company's name? I can't remember it now. It's like the biotech company.
Was it Aztec or?
No, it's not that one. It was another one, BioNTech.
Yes.
That eventually then sold to Pfizer, that they made the vaccine from. But he was an early investor in BioNTech, and obviously he made a huge amount of money after the vaccine was rolled out, because this is the only thing that this company made was,
well, and when you think about it in general, when you think about Bill Gates, it's very odd. He was paraded around mainstream media during COVID. He's a businessman and he's talking about, vaccination. Like he's the expert. Peter McCullough, Robert Malone, censored, deplatformed. Nope. And Robert Malone was one of the inventors of the mRNA technology and was trying to, warn people, the canary in the coal mine. But yet we got to listen to Bill Gates.
Well, I think that's a problem in society, in like American culture in general, is that we tend to interview billionaires about issues, societal issues, health issues, when they are not the experts on this. Like you'll bring in Mark Cuban or something to talk about pharmaceuticals, or you'll bring in, I don't know who else, like Steve Jobs, all these guys, these like billionaires that have been idolized in this way.
Let's hope they're not bringing in Steve Jobs.
Well, back in the days, but you know what I'm saying? Like they bring in billionaires to talk about things versus like the actual experts who have studied this for a very long time. And I think it's because we like worship money in a lot of ways, is that, these guys must be really smart because they've made a lot of money.
I think it's because in these specific instances, they're trying to promote their agenda. I think that something was wrong with the vaccines, whether it was they were hiding information, test results, or these things that I just mentioned were intended effects. okay, make money and take out some of the population, whatever it was. And so they don't want the experts. So they prop up these people that they have.
They have a vested interest in the system because they are also getting the take from it. They're also making money.
Yes.
So they are incentivized to agree or to continue to push the same agenda. They're aligned in their mission.
Yes.
Versus maybe an independent doctor who has no stake in the vaccine from a financial perspective. They're going to be able to maybe make a more like neutral assessment of it and saying, I don't know, guys. Like, because a lot of the doctors are saying, a lot of the doctors who are pro-vaccine doctors are saying, we haven't really studied this long enough. And it seems like based on the children's effect from COVID, like they're not really getting any major problems from this disease.
They're not dying. They're not dying.
So it's like, why do you take the risk with this vaccine that is unproven? We don't really need it. The only people who really, really maybe it would benefit are
morbidly
old people,
obese,
and old people.
Yeah.
And so maybe they should take it, but definitely shouldn't be sort of a mandate for the entire population.
But they needed to get the emergency use.
They did.
So they hid all other information. Oh, no, don't go out in the sun. Don't lose weight. All these things. No, seriously.
That did really like intersect with like the body positivity movement.
100%.
Right.
And now after Lizzo's dropped a person.
Well,
and
now they're pushing the GLP-1s. They're pushing the GLP-1, so everybody's on it for whatever reason. Is another thing. It's causing like bone density loss, all kinds of issues.
Your bones are like porous.
Yeah.
Like you see all these bobbleheads walking around.
That can't be good.
No.
And then your face is like sunken in, like.
So bad.
It's bad.
No, trust me. Like I know people that are on it.
Yeah.
This is the weird thing with Ozempic is just admit you're on it, right? Like I can tell that you're on it.
Say they're on it?
No, they're like, you know someone your whole life, 20 years, let's say, and they show up in an event and you're like, holy shit, so-and-so, like, man, you've lost half yourself.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I ate a
Diet and exercise. No.
I ate a bad pizza one day and, I got sick and I've had an aversion to food ever since. It's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Or, I started working out or whatever. It's like, okay.
That's a big problem here in America because working out is really, yes, the gyms will make money, but like, it's
but if
way
you've
less
ever
money.
gained weight like I did in college, okay, and
See a
you've tried to
photo.
lose it,
Yeah.
it's very hard to lose weight.
Okay, so people want the shortcut.
For women, most women, I would say. I think guys have an easier time, but it's like, you could pack on 10, 15 pounds in a few months, easy, right?
Sure.
But then to lose that 10, 15 pounds, it ain't happening in 2 months, I'll tell you that right now.
So people want the shortcut.
Of course.
So the GLP-1's a shortcut, but with major, major side effects that they don't tell people about. I think it's starting to come out now. I've seen some more articles written about the bone density loss. Things I've been talking about for 2 years. They said it was conspiracy theory. And I'm like, no, people, this is just what's going to happen. And now I think with more time, more people on it, I think it's going to be like the diet loss, like weight loss pills, pharmaceutical, intervention for weight loss has been around for a very long time. It's not a new thing, but it's never worked and it's never been healthy, right? Maybe some of them, you lose weight, but then you like get a heart attack or whatever it is, right? Over time, they're like, oh yeah, this is actually not safe.
Well, and it's just a perfect fix for the United States problems that we have, right? Doctors are now not saying, and they don't. When you go to medical school in the United States, they're not taking nutrition classes, right?
Yeah.
Now they're going in, they have these people, hey, I gained 50 pounds pregnant. I can't lose the weight. Oh, they're not going to look at their liver health. What are you eating?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Let's get to the root of the problem, right? Eastern medicine is more like finding the root issue, right? Western medicine, oh, here's Ozempic. We're not going to look at the food. We're not going to think, oh, maybe it's the water. Maybe it's the glyphosate. Maybe it's the GMO seeds that Bill Gates has, funded and he calls his magic seeds.
They're now basically trying to do the immunity thing. I think it has been blocked. I'm pretty sure. I got to check in because the farm bill that was going to be passed, it had like an immunity clause in it for glyphosate manufacturers to say you're not allowed to sue if you get cancer from glyphosate.
And they're spraying all of the forests right now?
Well, because it actually reduces fire, they tell us. That's the reason.
Well, yeah, it's like, well, and
that's what they tell us.
And DDT back in the day, right, was so good for kids. Oh my God, DDT was this amazing pesticide. There's old newspaper articles of kids running behind the DDT trucks and them spraying the kids. Yeah. Because it was supposed to, it took out like half the bird population. And then, they find out it's like a level 1 carcinogen. Everyone's getting cancer. Yeah, it killed the mosquitoes and, it killed, all these gnats. It also killed half the birds. And, it was killing you too.
And that's what I wonder is, do they know this at the time, or is it more like, we just want to make a bunch of money so we don't really care? And also, I just put in a clip right here. It's a very interesting. It's a grandma. Go to the one that says grandma right there. Because these grandmas in Asia are like being told to do like weightlifting. It's crazy. Look at this. Look at this. You never see this in the US.
Yeah, you would. My mom is going to be like this.
Well, 91 years old.
But
this is what people got to be. This is how you stay healthy for a long period of time. You got to do the weight training.
And where in Asia is this? Japan or?
This is in Taiwan.
Taiwan.
And there's like a doctor. I think there's an interview at the end here with the doctor.
Damn, they've got a whole crew that does CrossFit.
我说我可以的，没问题的。他说啊，没问题，真的没问题吗？我说不要害怕了，我真的没问题的。
I just would like to
30公斤，这个都是30。
bring up the fact they're all women.
Is that good or bad?
I just think it's fitting.
在医学上面来说，我们比较常会提醒患者，就是说训练的过程中，最有证据告诉我们可以预防这所谓的肌少症。还有另一部分帮助说这个骨质疏松的这个骨密度的增加。那这整体来说，我们观察其实这个趋势是越来越盛行，越来越多年长者接受这样的观念，会认为我应该不是说因为年纪年长就应该坐着躺着，应该是要更加的运动训练。
Exercise as like a medical intervention.
I don't know if anybody could hear me because I feel like when we're giving commentary, when the clips are playing, you can't really hear. I was saying, notice they're all women.
Well, they're cute Asian grandmas.
Well, and women are badass. And they're like, yeah, I'll go to the gym. And men are like, hand me the remote.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm watching the game. I'm watching the Padres.
Oh, yeah, I know.
No, but
I think here, I think in the US, in like 10 years time, we're going to have like 40-year-olds who are going to break a hip if they fall because the bones have been whatever, they're so porous that they're not going to survive a regular fall at age 45, That's not good.
I mean, I also think it's very difficult in the United States it's like a privilege to be healthy because like in Italy, for example, there's no such thing as like organic or non-GMO. It's all organic. You don't have to worry about that, right? And food's cheap and it's delicious. And I'm pretty sure they don't allow GMO in Japan either. I don't know about, China or Taiwan, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case there. So in the United States, if you want to buy organic and you want to get all this healthy food and, you want to buy beef that's not shot up with all these hormones and that's grass-fed instead of these junkyard cows.
You got to go to Erewhon or something.
I mean, you have to pay a premium.
That's what I'm saying.
And so...
$45 eggs if you want,
Well, eggs
good
is a
eggs.
whole other story. But anyways, I know you. Anyways, but bottom line is that it's very difficult for Americans, the average day American, to first just eat healthy. Then when are you going to have the time to make your own food, right? You're working your ass off. People are having to work 2 jobs right now just to pay their bills. Everything's going up in price. We're printing more money. So when are people going to have the time to do that? When are they going to have the time to cook the food? When are they going to have the time to work out? Like there's only so many hours in a day.
Well, the whole point is to create this population that's somewhat sickly, but still able to work. And then they just have to be on these meds.
Spend money on that.
Exactly.
Right? And so, anyways, we're in a horrible, cycle of this kind of stuff. And I hope that the glyphosate does not get the immunity. And I also
that was another
hope,
big sort of FU from the Trump administration to be aligned with the MAHA movement, the Make America Healthy movement, and then go back on that and then support because right now there's a Supreme Court case that that Bayer is involved with to rule whether or not they could enjoy immunity clause. And the Trump administration has actually supported the Bayer side. They've written a brief, an amicus curiae brief on behalf of the big chemical to say that this is what we need. And he's also signed the executive order saying that glyphosate is a national emergency type of situation, that we need to increase production of glyphosate.
They did that with DDT at the time because the problem was it was during the war, and I believe it was like typhoid fever or something that what was it that the soldiers were getting from the mosquitoes, and so they didn't have a cure to that, and so the DDT was killing these mosquitoes that were killing our soldiers. So that's why it was like this emergency. And then they found out, it's so safe because they were saving the soldiers and they were killing the rest of the population. We got another super chat. Dank's research for the win. Follow the money. Was that supposed to be Danny's?
Dank's research for the win. I think Dank's is like a researcher. I've seen some of his stuff.
Oh,
on
okay.
X.
See, I don't know who Dank's is. I was going to try to take credit. Thank you so much again, Mountain Star Studio, for the super chat.
But yeah, so it's a part of it. So you know how Spirit Airlines collapsed?
Yes, but before we get into that, can I just say one other thing?
About
Speaking of grandmas and Ozempic, grandmas always tell you, like, there's no such thing as shortcuts in life. Don't they? Like, my grandma would say that. Like, the good things in life take time, and you have to work really hard for it, right? So, like, to get your body in really good shape takes a lot of work. People should just know that Ozempic, there's going to be side effects. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
people should know that, but then there are media articles that are coming out and saying that either A, there are no side effects, or B, the side effects are not as bad as being obese. So
and for some people, I agree.
Well, then, but that'll apply to everybody. Then it's because the problem with the Ozempic thing is that they're not just recommending Ozempic for like the extremely obese people. They're recommending it for a lot of people, including children.
Oh
so
my God.
That's the issue with this. It's not like, okay, this is like the last course of intervention
for the people on TLC that have to get forklifted out of their house. Yes, I think Ozempic's better.
Right.
What was that show? My Big Fat Life or something?
My 600 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, yes, take Ozempic.
Yeah.
But like, if you have 20 pounds to lose, or I know some girls that are like, I have 10 pounds, I think. Stop.
Well, look, I'm deemed by under the medical, I guess, standards, I'm technically overweight.
You are?
Yeah. Based on like BMI or some shit like that. And they would recommend people to take GLP-1s. People like myself. It's like, oh, you need to drop 20 pounds or whatever. You should take GLP-1s. And
do you think that they're changing the BMI numbers?
I think there's something to that. I think they're changing some standard. I don't know about the BMI, but definitely like for things like cholesterol and all these other things, because then it creates a need to take medication, hypertension, these kinds of things. Like they're changing the standard, the numbers, to make it more likely that you would be into that like category where they're gonna prescribe you something.
It's crazy. That's crazy. I just had like a flashback when I was 16. We had like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, and like everybody wanted to be so skinny and wear those like low-rise jeans. I was basically already starving myself, and I went to the doctor and I weighed like 116 pounds. And the doctor was like, you could lose a few pounds.
Yeah.
And I was like, back then I was like, I believed the doctors.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. Like, anyways.
Have you found, like, I think I found a good doctor. Like, my primary care physician, I like him a lot because he doesn't tell me, like, what to do. He's more of, like, I want to teach you how to fish. So he's open to, like, me always challenging stuff. And I think those people are rare.
Yeah, I have providers that are outside of the insurance system.
Like a homeopathic kind of situation?
No,
or?
they're like doctors that once were in the system.
That then rejected.
So then insurance kicks them out. And so you have to pay out of pocket for them. But I rarely go to the doctor. I have this whole situation with my thumb right now that I was telling you about. I broke my thumb in 2018. And I was like, I don't know, but I don't want to go to the doctor. And now I have a broken thumb. And now I have a new baby. And I can barely hold him. And now I'm like, well, fuck, I should have gone to the doctor because now I'm going to have surgery on my thumb.
Well, sometimes it's good. Yeah, some things like that may be good for the doctor. Other things where they just throw you on medication.
Right.
Maybe not good.
Yes. I'm either going to have to get surgery or I'm going to look like a professional bowler for the rest of my life and wear one of those splints on my thumb. We have another super chat, which Mar R310 said, no Spencer for LA, but love you, Dani and James.
Interesting. So I'm reading that as they don't like Spencer for LA.
I'm reading it that way too.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. Before we get to the Spirit, because I wanted to talk about that because it's a little bit of a conspiracy theory now popping up about Spirit Airlines in terms of
Spirit Airlines. I thought we were talking about Spencer Pratt.
Well, now we're talking. So
yes.
I do want to talk about Spirit briefly, but since we got that super chat, let's talk about Spencer Pratt because this morning I decided to kick the beehive a little bit because people know who have been sort of following my work. There's been some overlap between some of the exposing of misuse of funds in LA and the fires that happened there last year. And so we were kind of reporting on kind of similar things. And now
you and Spencer.
Me and Spencer. And so there is some synergies, I would say. And now he's decided to run for LA mayor. And I think I'm generally like, okay, you want more challengers, right? Obviously Karen Bass sucks and whoever the Democrats have running as well have problems, right? Because they're going to just continue the same grift that's been happening for decades. So you got Spencer coming in here with a different message, a different option for people. I think people are generally excited about it and need it.
Yeah.
And I think the system needs it, right? They need challengers in the system. But the question is this a legitimate challenger or is this somebody that the establishment has sort of okayed, rubber stamped him to be, okay, you can go out there, spread this different message. But in the end of the day, it might be exactly the same thing. And so I decided to kick the beehive this morning and do a little digging up of an old post that he, let's play the clip.
Happy birthday, Israel, to 70 years and 70 more. To my favorite Israeli, Naomi, special shout out.
So, I mean, I don't know how many Americans have said happy birthday to a foreign country.
Okay, so
you're Italian, right?
Yes.
Have you wished Italy happy birthday?
No, but I would.
I
absolutely would.
If you were paid to do it.
No, I would anyways.
Right, so that was in 2018.
Thank you.
That clip was in 2018.
Okay.
Okay.
You did not say this in your post, and I think that's very important. This was in 2018, 8 years ago.
Okay, but so then go to the...
But hold on.
Okay.
You gave I just would like to say.
Yeah.
You said synergy. You and Spencer were on friendly terms. Yes.
I think we talked about similar things, right? With the corruption of LA.
And he is someone who, before running for mayor, was interested in exposing that, right? And look, maybe against Mar R310, who I am so grateful to have you as a follower. You're always popping off in the chat. You're one of our best followers. I like Spencer Pratt. I like his messaging. I think that if the fires in LA didn't happen, he'd be happy with his 2 sons and Heidi and the hummingbirds and all of his crystals. And I don't think he'd be running for office at all. I think that the establishment did not expect to have a reality star be so provoked that he was going to run. I don't think Spencer would have predict that he was going to run. In fact, Spencer's whole thing for years was promoting Heidi. Heidi. I don't even think he wanted the spotlight anymore. But here we are. He's running. you pull up this old video from 2018. Considering the circumstances, it is odd, but I think that it's important to add the context that it's from 8 years ago.
Right. I think it's from 8 years ago. So I would say that, yes, he's talking, like, his points are pretty much what people want to hear, right?
Yes.
We want to get the corruption out of LA. We need to reform the system. And I just have this intuition, right? A lot of times you got to just trust your intuition on some of these things. And I just think that he's an actor, so he might not be telling the truth. And there's, to make another analogy, I don't want to always use Trump as the analogy, but here I'm going to use it, is that he said a lot of the things that people wanted to hear before the election, right? We're going to clean up the food supply. We're not going to get into any more wars. We're going to help people buy houses, cheaper gas, all this stuff that were good for Americans. And let's see what happens. Oh, he's just a puppet for Israel, basically. So I'm worried about the same thing happening at a localized level where he's saying the same things. He's like, hey, we're going to make LA more affordable. We're going to clean up the streets. We're going to get all the corruption out. But then he's going to also be a puppet for Israel.
Look, I'm very big on intuition. If your intuition is telling you that, I think that it's valid. Just like I think there's something going on with these data centers. I don't know Spencer Pratt personally, but I look at Karen Bass. I look at what happened in the Palisades in Malibu, where my dad brought me surfing. Well, I didn't really surf that much, but where I was, I wasn't going to school. I was hanging out with the Malibu surfer bums, and what has happened there and the negligence of Karen Bass and the industrial homeless complex that I've learned about from you and so much other corruption that's going on in LA. Maybe it is a situation of, pick the worst of two evils. I don't know, but we can't have the same thing over and over. We can't have Karen Bass.
We can't have the same thing over. It's just like, in terms of Trump versus Biden, right? I don't want a dead guy in there. I don't want a guy that's not alive.
Robot.
Yeah, right? Versus then you have Trump, who's, now not obviously, I would say is a traitor. Somebody would even classify, I think he's a traitor in some senses, that he's like selling out our national security interests for a foreign country. We can't have that either. So I think this might be another situation where, once again, people are left with like bad choices. One that's like going to be the status quo puppet candidate. Another is like a puppet candidate as well, but for maybe a slightly different interest, which is what I'm fearing. I'm just, hey, people are like, you're destroying his campaign. I'm like, that's not my goal. I'm hoping he'll come out and address this. I mean, I have a feeling of what he's going to say, because if you go to the one that's G19, 6 days ago. So this is posted 6 days ago. You said that video is from 2018, which it is. This is from 6 days ago. He's hoisting an Israeli flag saying, a night of unity, pride, and purpose, USA, Israel, standing together, celebrating our roots and our resilience and our future. So I feel like this is sort of indicative of his position, which is exactly the same as it was in 2018.
I mean, look, if he comes out and addresses your video and he says, I'm a friend of Israel, but I'm not giving them any money, I have no problem with that.
Right. That's another thing, too, right? I looked this up. The city of Los Angeles has given $238 million of taxpayer money in 2025 to Israel.
Which is the same amount of money they spent on one homeless person. So really, I'm joking.
Well, so you're not far off there in terms of they do spend a lot of money. I mean, the LA homeless budget is about $1 billion. So it's about a quarter of the amount of money they spend on homelessness in LA. But what I'm saying is, I don't think people, Angelinos, would want to have their money go to Israel. I think that almost 100% of the people would say no to that.
No, I think people are, electing Spencer Pratt
to stop that.
And yes, 100%.
But then what I'm saying is, I think the grift
post,
might be continuing. Yeah.
Nothing in this post, other than the flag, which does have the Jewish star.
It does, but you can just raise the Star of David. You don't need to raise. This is a country's flag. This isn't the Star of Judaism.
I'm just saying.
This isn't like a Jewish symbol. This is a national symbol of a country, a sovereign country. You would do it through, like, you can raise a menorah. That's a different symbol of Judaism. There's other like symbolic things.
I'm just saying, it doesn't say in the caption he's supporting Israel.
There's an Israeli flag, a unity of pride and purpose. That means they're one together with another.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's like we've said before, there is a difference between supporting Jewish people and supporting
100%,
Israel.
100%.
So we have to see what he actually does if he becomes mayor and if he addresses the situation.
I think he should address it and say, would you give money to Israel? Like, would you give LA taxpayer money to Israel? And so the answer is yes. I think that to me is like a disqualifying position because money that Angelinos pay should stay in LA to fix problems of LA. It
I
shouldn't
agree.
Go to Israel, $238 million. Why?
No, I agree.
You know,
I'm totally against sending any money to any foreign countries for their wars, for their pensions, for anything.
And Israel, they love to talk about how they give universal health care to their citizens. And we're like, well, how do you think you're getting the money to do universal health care? It's because we give you all the money. And then this other part I want to bring up. This is a little bit more like conspiratorial. So that video was from 2018, right?
Yes.
And so if you go to the one that says death, H19, this is just a statistic of, so there was a time before October 7th. This Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been going on for a very long time. And 2018 just happened to be a pretty massive year in terms of like Israel slaughtering a bunch of Palestinians. 31,000 people. People don't realize that they all think it starts on October 7th, you know, that this is when the conflict started. But if you look at the statistics here, this is like the number of injuries and deaths documented by the UN, Israeli versus Palestinians, in this ongoing conflict that's happened for decades. And 2018 was kind of a bad year in terms of like, you know, human rights abuses, I think, for Israel. So I don't know if he was paid to say something like that, like to give support for Israel, like celebrities. They do this all the time. It's like, hey, do you want to give a shout out to Israel? This wasn't such a national issue at the time, but if you look at the numbers, it didn't look good that year for people who were paying attention. So I'm like, is there something to this here? Was that message like paid for, which it probably often is?
Yeah,
like, hey, give a shout out.
For sure. It definitely could have been paid for.
So this is just to remind people there was a time. It's like, that's not like when Hamas did the terrorist attack, you know, we can call it that, on Israel. That's not the start of the conflict. It wasn't like before that Palestinians, you know, Israel wasn't killing Palestinians. They were always doing it, but people weren't paying attention. And I think that's why they did that attack, to bring like world attention. So I would say like it kind of worked in terms of bringing a spotlight of attention onto this ongoing conflict, but there were things going on before then.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I mean, it'll be interesting to see the way that it shakes out.
And who's there? Yeah, he'll probably just ignore it. I mean, I don't know if I even make that much of a difference as far as like getting this on his radar. Well, who knows? Maybe other people, like somebody else will see it and
look
post
what
about
happened
it.
with the Alexis Wilkins honey pot post.
Yeah, that did.
You were kind of the beginning of that, and look what happened. No, look.
And so that's what I'm afraid of. I'm just trying to warn people that this might be happening, and then you should know about it, and then you could still choose to vote for him. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just saying people should force him to address this issue ahead of time versus having him elected and all of a sudden he's like, oh, we're going to give money to Israel, we're going to do this and that. And they're like, whoa, hold on a second. And then that was always something that he was going to do. I just want to highlight it for people, and then they can make a more informed decision.
Yeah. No, and I think that is totally fair. I think, you know, I'm a walking, talking contradiction because it's like I believe in all these conspiracies, but then if I like somebody, like I like Spencer Pratt. That's just the honest truth. I'm just being transparent, right? I like what he says. I have faith in people, right? So for me, I'm like, no, he won't do that. Like, listen to what he's saying. I always fall for it. I just, you know, at the end of the day, want to at least believe in the good of people. And I saw what Karen Bass did. And so I see these career politicians and I go, well, we know we can't do that. And Spencer's the other option. So I know you're going to say, oh, there's a lot of other people on the ballot, but really it's going to be between Karen Bass, that other lady, and Spencer Pratt. And I just want the best for the people. And I'm hopeful that he's being honest and he, because of his, you know, story and background of being a victim of the fire in the Palisades and all the work that he did prior to running for mayor, that it is for something good. Now, I don't know, right? That could have been his villain story for all I know.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, I just think that in terms of the candidates, right, like it's going to be those three, and it probably will be those three, but there's a problem with the way U.S. politics is run. They're going to give you the candidates that they want you to have the choice of versus somebody else who's really going to reform the system, like a Butch Ware. I would say in California, I don't agree with everything that Butch Ware does, but it's certainly I think he certainly is a big thorn in their side. If he actually wins, he would actually change things. So it's a bit of a problem. That's why he was removed from the ballot recently, because they gave him what I saw in the email as like kind of basically they gave him instructions that was incomprehensible. Like he couldn't complete the instructions, and they gave him like a couple hours to do it, or else he's going to be off the ballot. And he's like, all right, you're off the ballot. So to me, I think that was a disingenuous thing for the Democrats to do, because the problem with this is the California governor's race we're talking about. Too many Democrats in the race. Okay, so they're already struggling to go against the two Republicans. So the attorney general, who's appointed by a Democrat, was like, oh, we got to do something. So like, let's get the Green Party guy out, because he's only going to draw more from the Democrats. I think that's one of the reasons why they got Eric Swalwell out too, because he's like, we got to get rid of some of these people. Like, the people are not dropping out. They all have big egos. Let's knock Swalwell out, because he's obviously got problems. So then we can eliminate him. Maybe the next thing, maybe they try to get Katie Porter out. I don't know. Maybe for the bashing her staffer or whatever. So it's like nobody wants to drop out. So I think they're wanting people to drop out. And this is, I think, the democracy at work in America is like, okay, you can choose, but you can only choose from these three people. They don't give people they don't give people the opportunity to actually vote for who they really, really want. Like, if you were to go down all the candidates and like, let's actually talk about the policies, which ones you support, you probably not pick the guy in the top three. You probably pick somebody else down there. It's like, oh, I really like this guy, but he's giving no coverage. He's maybe a kook. Maybe they write him off as some crazy conspiracy theorist or whatever, similar to what they did to RFK Jr., right? He's a crazy conspiracy theorist. Let's knock him out of the race, this kind of thing.
And look, I think that you could make a point that someone at the top saw the numbers that Spencer was getting on the fire coverage, that he was getting through to people, that he had a background and a degree in political science from USC, and they thought, let's see if we can get him, right? And there's always deals made behind closed doors. So that's very likely. I'm just, like I said,
you like
even
him.
though I believe it's political theater,
Yeah.
no matter what, I always want to believe in the good. And then I'm on here and I'm like, I really thought we were going to make a change, but.
And there's Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam, this and that.
Yeah, which I guess it's easier for me to see those playbooks.
Which I mean, that's why we do a good show, because sometimes I don't see those things. You're like, oh, this has been happening for a long time. I don't see it. This, I feel like, oh, I think this guy's fooling us. And so I'm just trying to maybe make
because
him aware.
You have had Zooms and personal conversations with him, you have a better pulse on it.
I mean, there's nothing in those conversations that is like, oh, I don't like him or anything. Like, he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
But I just think nice people can also be co-opted to do evil
right.
things.
He could be co-opted.
Exactly. And I think that's maybe what's happening in that particular race right now. And maybe he'll come out. Maybe he'll come out and say, I changed my mind.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
But if he did comment on anything and just said, like, I support this group of people or I support this country, but we're not giving them any money, then I would say, great.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
Which is kind of what Mamdani did.
Yeah, because Mamdani, like...
Almost actually,
Mamdani
exactly.
Is, I think, like, the opposite. It's like, I kind of like Mamdani. Even though I don't really trust Mamdani necessarily, I like him. I just have this natural intuition to like him for whatever reason.
Even though he's for sure an actor, he was trying to do music videos, and you always forget the fact that his mom was at Ghislaine Maxwell's penthouse for her movie.
Right. So
but go on.
We could have blind. I'm just saying.
Yes, we have blinders.
We have blinders sometimes for this kind of, like, we just like a person for whatever reason. And for him, I think he did the right messaging in terms of the Jewish people versus Israel, and said, I support every single Jewish person here in New York. This is who I represent. I want to make sure that they're safe. But, like, Israel is not really my jurisdiction. It's not my problem. So I'm not going to spend my resources supporting that.
Yeah.
And so the same in LA. There's a lot of Jewish people in LA. Huge Jewish community. So you say, I support everybody here. Like, Jewish Americans, they are my constituents. The state of Israel, like, holding the flag up, I think it's not the right move, because that represents a whole different country with a different national interest to us.
Yeah.
As we can see now. So I don't think that's the right move, and it's not good for Americans who are here.
Yeah.
Just my take.
No, it's a good take. It's a good take, and we'll see if he responds. We'll see what your video.
Yeah,
let's see what your video is up to right now.
Yeah, let's see if it may have not gotten a huge amount of traction. We don't know. Let's see here. It's only 176K, so I don't think it's gonna be like crazy, right? 176,000 views.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
We'll see. Never know how things get picked up.
Yeah.
But speaking of things being picked up and dropped off, I don't know if you've seen this.
What is it?
Boxes of ticks have been discovered all across different farms in the United States.
Well, I'm out here mushroom hunting, and I found, there it is right there, the tick box. I'm not going to touch it because there's ticks all over that thing. I know there is. Look at them crawling out of it. Millions of them. You can see the ticks.
Okay, so this has been going on for a couple months now.
What is that? Wait, so do we have information on this? Like, who's dropping them off? Like, what the hell's going on here?
We don't know who's dropping them off. But
Wait, was that just one video,
no,
or there are a lot of videos?
There are a lot of videos. And I know I've played this clip, a longer version, very early on, maybe our second episode.
Mm-hmm.
But this was also from 2018, like
Big
the Spencer Pratt video. But this is a scientist that was speaking at the World Economic Forum about how basically, because of climate change, we need people to stop eating beef, because cow farts are causing pollution. And we can bioengineer ticks with the Lone Star disease to make humans allergic to meat and dairy. And so here's this clip, a shortened version.
People eat too much meat, right? And if they were to cut down on their consumption of meat, then it would actually really help the planet. But people are not willing to give up meat. Possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering.
Amazing.
People eat too much meat,
yeah.
right?
So
you're saying, groups of organizations might be dropping off these ticks that are infected with the Lone Star disease to maybe spread this. And it's happening in a lot of places in the Northeast. By the way, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, all of these kind of coastal areas with naturally a lot of tick population. There's like a huge surge in people who are now allergic to meat. By the way, huge story on this.
Oh yeah, no,
and they say that's on, it's naturally occurring. It's just climate change or whatever. These ticks are becoming more inhabitable here. There's the growing population of ticks, so then naturally they would bite more people, more chances of contact. But this is something nefarious you're kind of even alluding to, that they might be purposely putting these ticks out in the wild to infect.
I mean, when you look at the rate at which individuals are being infected and how these ticks are spreading across state lines at an extremely rapid pace since that WEF scientist talked about this, it's insane. In New Jersey, just last winter, you had a pilot die from this disease. He contracted the allergy from the Lone Star tick, ate meat, and died. So it's becoming a problem. It used to be in like 2018, several thousand cases, I believe, maybe 15, 20,000 cases. Now it's getting close to 500,000. It's just, when you look at Bill Gates, for example, and his work that he's had with, funding the research into looking into these specific ticks, and how he also has business ventures into fake meat and all of the alternatives. Again, now we're going down the road with Bill Gates Was it a business decision? Is it a depopulation decision? All in the name of climate change once again.
I was slightly different. I mean, that's one potential motive, right, for these ticks being dropped.
Yeah.
The other one that I have is more, once again, sort of related to the COVID vaccine playbook, is that Pfizer next year is slated to come out with a new vaccine to treat Lyme disease. Now, Lyme disease is another huge disease that's caused by tick bites.
And you had done a story that they were engineered ticks, right?
Well, they're saying that the origins of Lyme disease might be engineered by the U.S. military.
And do you believe that?
Oh, absolutely. Based on all the evidence that I've seen, there's documented evidence of them in the 1950s weaponizing ticks over a period of time. And it just so happens that the place that Lyme disease was discovered is right next to a U.S. bio lab. Okay, I forgot what it was called, but it's off the coast of Connecticut, off of the coast of Lyme, Connecticut, is where this government lab was. So I 100% think there's a connection there. So this might be another thing here where Lyme disease is actually, some people say that the people I've talked to who suffer from Lyme is that if you immediately treat Lyme disease with, I think it's like an antibiotic or something called, let me see here. I had this written down. Yeah, doxycycline. It will cure the disease almost 100%.
Wow.
But a lot of times
people don't know. They get confused with a cold or something else.
Exactly. And then the doctors once it's past that stage, doctors don't really know. They're confused. They don't really know what treatment to dole out.
It's interesting because isn't Lyme disease viral?
Is it viral?
It just would be interesting that you would be treating a virus with an antibacterial.
No, Lyme disease is a bacterial infection.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
So that would make sense. That
Yeah. But sometimes you hear these cures that are outside the box.
Well, sometimes you like it's like the what is that? The
ivermectin
outside the box for COVID.
Yeah.
Which is an antiparasitic, but they're using it to. You said it stops viruses from replicating potentially.
There's a lot of studies that show that it stops viruses from replicating. It doesn't mean you're not going to get X, Y, and Z virus.
Right.
But people have used it with cancer treatments and found a lot of success with it. But yeah, anyways, that's why I was just
But I'm
curious.
saying it could be an interesting coincidence, the increasing number of ticks in the wild.
Well, it's the same
with
thing
the Lyme
with
disease, with the vaccine.
It's the same thing with the Ozempic, right? Like you have Bayer Pharmaceuticals, right, owning Monsanto labs or Monsanto farms with the GMO food.
Yeah.
People are getting obese. They're getting sick.
Well, they're getting cancer. They're getting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
All sorts of things, right? And now they're going to sell you the cure.
Exactly. So this might be
which is going to make your bones porous. You're going to break a hip, and then they're going to have another solution for you.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's like some saying like they don't want you dead.
Yeah.
They want you constantly ill and sick and injured.
Yeah.
I'm rethinking getting my thumb fixed.
Well, I mean, if it's bothering you, you should seek out.
But do you ever hear like people that get like they go in for a surgery or something, and then they're like, "I should have just left it. Like the doctor fucked it up."
Look, I've heard that. My grandma, who is now I think 88 years old, she also hates surgery. She is actually.
Yeah,
she's
amazing.
actually doing this kind of thing. I mean, she should have started a lot younger. My grandpa, who's about 10 years, he passed a couple of years ago, but he was always exercising every single day, so he was very healthy up until his like mid 90s. When unfortunately it was because he had a heart stint, and then they started giving him this medication that then weakened his liver and kidney and other problems. So then that's when he started actually taking a very quick nosedive in terms of like his health, was because he started going on these pharmaceuticals. Before that, he was never taking any medication, and after he started taking pharmaceuticals, his health declined really quickly. But anyways, what I was saying about my grandma is she like refused to get surgery for anything. Like she has this shoulder problem that's been going on for like a decade or two, and she's like, I don't want surgery. It could make it worse. I don't know.
So what you're saying is I'm like your grandma.
Well, I'm just saying maybe the Asian grandmas
and
have a thing.
And she's doing great. What you're saying is don't get my thumb fixed.
Look, I'm not a doctor. I'm
I
not
mean,
going to
I've
give
just been
medical
convinced
advice.
it's off. It is off.
Look, I would look into ways of PT. I would look to, hey, can I?
I told you I'm
could-
going to come in here with a professional bowling stick.
Yeah.
I already bought one.
Okay, well, I don't know if that's going to do it, but I'm saying, are there ways to like strengthen the muscles or like whatever? I don't know what the problem is.
I
So
need to go
You got to go
to my acupuncturist, Dr. Pack.
Yeah, there you go, Dr. Pat.
I'm actually going to call her after this.
Okay.
Just see if there's something she could do.
There you go.
Speaking of my dad's acupuncturist, Dr. Chen, we might want to do this interview. I would normally be talking to you about this offline, but she reached out to me. I guess they are trying to pass a bill to allow any American doctor to practice acupuncture, which she is saying is a very specialty. I have not looked into this, so I don't know if you want to.
Anybody can produce, or any doctor can do acupuncture.
And she's saying this is super dangerous.
What's the rule now?
You have to be a certified acupuncturist, which, by the way, I
Is
think
there
takes
like a
like
board
8 years.
certification for this?
Yeah,
I
it's like a
assume?
big deal.
Okay.
Right? Because they have to learn like every.
That would kind of make sense because that would be kind of like saying, let's say you're specialized in like orthopedics or
Yes.
something like that, and then now you're all of a sudden you're gonna do
Put them
like-
on the brain.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're gonna be a neurosurgeon. It seems like totally not the same thing.
Like that looks like a toe.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So, anyways, she was like, "Oh, I need to, you need to raise awareness of this." Da 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 da. This was over the weekend, and I was like, "Oh, okay. I'll look into it." But that seems very weird. And she told me about the story that I have to look up, where someone didn't really know what they were doing with acupuncture, and it was an NFL player, and they put the needles in the wrong spot, and his lung exploded.
Wow, that's not good.
So, anyways, little side story.
Not ideal. Yeah. Well, let's look into that. Final thing, really quick before we wrap up. I do want to make people, this is another, it could be a non-conspiracy story,
Okay.
but it also could be conspiratorial, right? Okay, so Spirit Airlines going out of business. Nobody really liked this airline that much. And now I've never seen so many people heartbroken about Spirit Airlines because.
I have my own conspiracy on it.
Okay, so.
You go.
This conspiracy, is that JetBlue is now suffering from, I guess, financial problems, losing a couple $2 billion this past year. Could potentially go bankrupt, they say, in the next 6 months to a year. And I saw Sam Tripoli post about this, and he just said, they don't want you flying.
Exactly. Okay,
And
that
then-
was my.
I was like, oh, wait a second here. There may be,
Well,
what's going on here?
Southwest Airlines got rid of their like cheap flights last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they don't have like the ABC. You buy an assigned seat. It's still the tin cans, but they're super expensive. Like I told you, we're possibly going to fly out to Vegas, and I said I can fly private on Jet Suite X to Vegas for $100 more than Southwest. Okay, that's how expensive Southwest has gotten. It used to be $69 per ticket. Southwest used to be cheap. Now they're getting rid of Spirit Airlines. JetBlue used to have great deals. And so to Sam Tripoli's point, this was my conspiracy theory, was that, if we're going along with this, 15-minute city and the surveillance state and the one world government, they don't want us flying.
Or
so
if
they're going to make it
flying is only going to be good for, or they're only going to be accessible for people who are wealthy.
just
who
like
can
organic
afford
food.
Okay. So that's not good. So, but
bringing it
the
full
bright
circle
side,
again.
yeah, I know the bright side, and I don't think this is going to work necessarily. But there is a guy online trying to basically crowdfund, crowdfund the People's Airline, trying to buy Spirit Airlines.
And this is what I think you really need to blow up. Because I think that would be so cool if we could somehow rally Americans to buy back an airline.
I think it would be very cool.
The People's Airline.
Yeah. Apparently he's raised $150 million or something. Not
Insane.
raised, but pledged. He's like, I don't want to take any money from people. It's just like, hey, if this works, you're just pledging money at this point. So people are like, this is a scam. He's going to run off with your money. But he's like, no, I'm not taking any money. I'm just asking for pledges. And then he's like talking to lawyers, like, can he? Because I looked into this as well. I'm like, can this be done? Most people say not really possible because you need to, first of all, be like experienced running an airline. You can't just like buy an airline. And then there's also like legal hurdles as well. And then there's also the financial side. Apparently there's like huge payments that are due. That's why they went bankrupt, is because they couldn't pay their debt. So then you immediately need to have like $1 billion $1.5 billion to pay off the creditors right away, and then you can like reorganize. That's one of the issues why they couldn't go through the bankruptcy protection, is because they just couldn't come up with the money to pay the creditors or to come up with terms that they would accept to like reorganize the debt. So we'll see if that can happen. But we do. So that got me thinking, like, there's a lot of other businesses, maybe not Spirit Airlines, but maybe other businesses like big box stores or like manufacturers of like household needs, like Tide, all these things that they're raising their prices exponentially on us.
Tide?
Like the detergent companies, like the stuff that people buy. That's just like P&G, all these consumer packaged goods companies. That maybe there's some opportunity there for people to like buy back, crowdfund. You could buy a company and then run it the way you want to run it.
Yes, and I hope nobody uses Tide.
I'm not saying
I just
to use
want to
Tide,
say,
but I'm just using.
I'm just saying,
example.
7th generation free and clear is the non-tox detergent.
Got it. And hopefully you're getting a sponsorship for that.
No, but I have no problem because like people don't realize these fragrances, these detergents are fucking up people bad. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
The Febrezes, like these are scented candles. These are the worst things for you. Like, and this is another huge business. Like if you have Febreze air freshener, the plugins, you'd be better off, looking European and smoking a pack a day.
Right.
You look on the back, you have this like bright orange liquid, and you look on the back, it says ingredients and it says fragrance. Like, what the fuck is in that? Right?
Well,
a little glyphosate.
Yeah. Oh, more than that. Yeah. So that's
some smart dust.
So it'd be good. It would
some
be
Wells Fargo smart dust. I'm telling you, get them out of your house.
Yeah. So that's be careful posting that on TikTok again. Just.
I deleted it immediately.
I know. It's now you're going to become like, what's that lady on Shark Tank who does QVC? Lori Grenier.
Well,
Look at this, guys. This is, or you could sell your non-toxic. You could just do everything. You change it to selling like non-toxic.
Yeah. Look, I might have to do it.
Maybe.
We'll see.
But if hopefully, we'll see what the Spirit. I mean, it's very cool. I like that he's doing that. If it doesn't work, we have JetBlue, who apparently is going to go bankrupt soon.
My gosh.
The stock is now down to $4.84.
Oof. Wow.
$4.84.
In 2023, when I started my TikTok and started gaining some popularity, I thought that the world was going to end then. I thought I was with COVID and everything, I'm they're after us. A lot of the same thoughts I'm talking about now. And so I did do a few TikTok shops in my garage to sell doomsday stuff. I curated them all myself. Nice. There is video somewhere out there of me in a poncho that could keep you hot or cold. Making food on a propane stove.
Love it.
Swear to God. And I'm like, you guys, this meat right here, and this is the propane stove you need in a poncho. The poncho could have caught fire. It could have been huge. There was probably 30 people watching, and it was a little bit of a disaster, but I've been on this for a while.
Yeah. So, I mean, the overall message is we're going to get through this together, no matter what it is. I don't know what exactly.
Yes, I'm a prepper.
You're describing or not, somewhere in the middle, but we're going to get through this. Shout out to Matt Kim, who is back. He was missing.
I was wondering where
for
he
a
was.
long time.
I was wondering where he was.
And he made a video yesterday that I watched. I was like, where's Matt Kim been?
Do you have him on here?
I don't have him on there, but he said he basically got burned out. He's like, we're exposing everything, but yet nothing's changing. I told everybody to vote for Trump, and now he's completely abandoned us. And so I think he was going through some things there. But one thing that he said that I think really resonated with me was that maybe our role here isn't necessarily we don't have the power to change the system, but we do have the ability to bring people together, to provide a community, to at least not make people feel crazy during these crazy times. And maybe that's the type of role that we can play before. Oh, that's if you want to play that. This is what he said.
Maybe the purpose of what we do, it necessarily isn't to change the system. Maybe it's just simply to be a voice for the people living under it. Maybe the purpose.
Powerful. I thought that was wow, okay.
And I have to say, I don't know if he had this background before or if we were inspiration for the Matrix background.
He
But
had
I
the
like it.
background. Yeah, I think he had that before.
Okay. Love Matt Kim. And I was wondering where he was. I just was, thinking maybe he just wasn't showing up on my page or something, to be honest.
No, he hadn't done a podcast in probably like 3 months.
Okay, because I didn't follow him before.
Yeah.
And then you introduced him to me. We interviewed him. And then I was like, I love him. We went for matcha.
Yeah, that's what gets to your heart.
That's, I don't know what I'm going to do later today since I spilled this one all over the floor. But anyways, I'm so happy that he's back. And to the person that asked, is Dani a prepper? Yes.
It's good to be a prepper.
Yes.
I'm also a prepper as far as like, I like to be prepared.
Yeah.
I don't want to just leave things on a whim most of the time.
Yeah.
So when something is like, I'm anticipating if something is going wrong and then I prepare for it.
Do you have a generator?
No, I don't have, I'm not prepared in that sense.
Yeah.
But
you can come over.
yeah, okay. But I'm ready to go. So it's like, if there is a zombie apocalypse, I know I'm getting on a boat. Okay, I'm gonna.
Whose boat?
Anybody. I'm commandeering a boat, and we're gonna
women
get
and
supplies.
children first. No, I'm just kidding. No. Yeah, you can only prep so much. But I have 3 dogs. I have a baby now. I've realized, it's like you go up there. It's like a Costco. I say up there because it's in my attic. I mean, and then you have to like filter through like, okay, I've had these cans for 2 years now. Guess what we're having for the next month? Split pea soup.
I love split pea soup.
I love split pea soup too. Have you ever tried Amy's split pea soup? Like for a can, it's good.
Yeah, but now Amy's been bought by private equity, so.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Then these cans are valuable. This might be before PE.
Yeah. Which they did cheapen everything. You know that pasta sauce, Rouse?
Yes.
The really expensive one that's like from the Italian restaurant.
I feel like they've gone
historic.
downhill for years.
Well, so they were bought by Campbell's. And people are saying the ingredients list is the same, but it doesn't taste the same.
Right.
So it's like sourcing's different. It's like you can, like, olive oil can be like from the Italian, farm, or it could be like some mixed thing that some not purified form. So it could be different.
The best olive oil.
From Italy, right?
Well, specifically from Sicily.
Yeah, I believe that.
Because why? Do you know?
Well, because of the process that they use is like natural or something like that. They don't use any sort of like chemicals or even irrigation at times. I think they just like naturally.
The reason why.
You tell me.
Is because the olive trees are planted below the volcano. And so you're getting unique minerals in that soil, volcanic ash and, this different. And so it's a very different taste. And you can't get it anywhere else. It's almost like, it almost has like a little spice to it.
I've never been to Italy. I've never had.
Sicily is like its own kind. Sicily is.
Because they say it's so good you can drink it. It's like you could just chug a little bit of olive oil and it's that good.
So, like here in the United States, I'm super picky. I'm like, nope, I don't eat gluten. No, I don't eat dairy. Like, I don't eat all these things. I go to Italy and I'm like, give me some pasta. Give me some this. Give me some. I eat everything.
Yeah.
And I love it. So.
Well, that's maybe we could, start changing the food supply. That's another. Maybe we can buy out one of these big companies and change the way they do food.
Or maybe we can go to Sicily and write off the trip for the Today-ish and interview some of the olive farmers on the volcano.
Yeah. Well, we could definitely do that. You're thinking for us, but I'm talking about helping everybody. That could be
I'm not. Sorry, guys. I don't. You're gone.
I'm talking about some big grand plan to like
No.
reform the food system here, get pure Sicilian olive oil to the masses, and you're like, let's do a tax-free trip to
Exactly. You're on your own, and we'll be in Taormina, which is where
White Lotus season 2.
Yes. And who's the actress that played Bellatrix on Harry Potter?
No
She's
clue.
very famous. Anybody in the chat?
Madonna.
No.
I'm kidding. I have no
She has
idea.
the big, crazy, curly hair.
I know you. I know. I can picture that character, but I have no idea who the actress is.
People are saying, "Damn, Dani, what I'll do to a trip to Sicily." No, but what's her name?
I can look it up.
Tell me in the chat.
No, I'll just look it up.
Anyways, she was on, and
her name is Helena
Yes.
Bonham Carter.
yes,
Apparently.
so she was filming for the new season. I think is in France, and she had some problems. So now she's off set, and Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly was in Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. She had the short blonde hair.
Yeah.
She's also now a friend of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's like a hilarious, and she's a poker player. Anyways, now she's in the mix, which I would love.
In the mix for what?
For the show.
Oh, for the Housewives.
To replace. No. For the show I was just talking about, Taramina. What's the show?
How you talking about?
White Lotus.
White Lotus?
Yes.
Okay, got you.
Yes.
Well, that would be. We'll see what happens there. It's almost 2. You got to get out of here. So.
Yes, I do.
Great show. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you to the Patreon subscribers. Sorry, Dani will not take you to Italy. Apologies for that. I will do my best to take over Campbell's Food and restore the food system in America.
I didn't say I wouldn't take them to Italy. If you want to crowdsource for the trip, by all means. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
nothing's getting in between me and that olive oil. That's all. As always, thank you guys so much, and let us know what you think about all of this down below. Oh, I want to say one other thing.
Okay.
Did you end it?
No. You have the button to end it. It's not
Next
ended. We're
week.
still here.
Next week is my birthday, and we're doing a birthday episode.
It's going to be on her actual birthday.
On my actual birthday.
So this is going to be fun.
And I'm going to bring vegan gluten-free cake pops.
Nice.
Yum. No, they're really good. You can try them on air.
Okay.
Okay. See you then. Bye, guys. Arrivederci.